Qin Xiaojun gets super serious. A whetstone? I am pretty sure this whetstone is way stronger than all the knives in this camp, right? Dong Qingshui suddenly recalls a certain memory. Do you remember our training class? That guy Hang Bang. Hearing that exact name, Qin Xiaojun literally jumps up, clutching his chest. Of course, just mentioning his name makes my chest start hurting again. Back in our training camp, he completely crushed every single genius, stepping all over everyone else. He was the absolute, undisputed king. Dong Qingsui immediately speaks in a very deep, thoughtful tone. Exactly. Anyone with a pure strength talent has a ridiculously massive advantage early on. They can easily hit tens of thousands in combat power, even totally wrecking higher-level enemies. But technique, speed, observation skills, and basic combat judgment? Experience, tactics, and strategy. True strength is not just raw power, it is about endless growth and piling up those combat skills. Strength-based martial artists who only ever rely on their born brute force? In the end, they are just a quick flash in the pan, honestly. This is probably Liu Shang's absolute limit. Meanwhile, you and I know better. Liu Shang is currently inside his dreamscape, throwing hands with a massive, muscular blonde zombie. Both sides are completely evenly matched, trading hundreds of brutal blows without either of them backing down. The monster suddenly throws an earth-shattering punch, but Liu Shang just catches it dead in its tracks. He quickly grabs a rusty iron bar right off the ground and viciously stabs it straight through the zombie's thigh and foot, pinning it down. Taking the opening, he unleashes his ultimate stellar technique, smashing a punch right into its ugly face. That single hit instantly deletes the monster from existence. The second it drops, Liu Shang absorbs every single skill and memory this zombie had. After wrestling with this absolute tank for so long, he finally breathes a sigh of relief. Phew! Before dying, this thing was a literal Tier 6 Grandmaster, on the exact same level as Martial Arts Association Minister Xiao Yuhei. No wonder it hit so insanely hard. That last attack? If I did not use my entire mental power just to block it, he would have been toast. Now, our guy starts fully absorbing all those epic martial arts skills, combat techniques, and battle experience instead of just upgrading his blood chi. This is the ultimate cheat code of his dreamscape. He gets footwork, boxing, palm strikes, kicks, spear arts, and sword forms. A normal human's power is limited. One person absolutely cannot master everything. But Liu Shang, he is standing on the shoulders of countless fallen warriors, totally well-rounded, with zero weak spots left to exploit. This is my martial path. The flawless martial way. After completely downloading all those sweet Tier 6 zombie skills, Liu Shang sits down to rest, focusing on his mental power. Just now, if it was not for my mental strength, I probably could not have survived even a single hit from that monster. Sadly, I am still using my mental power in the most basic way possible. For now, this only works against brainless zombies. If I run into a real living Tier 6 expert, game over. I desperately need to upgrade my mental power training. Right after saying that, Liu Shang goes deep into his own consciousness. He completely blocks out the world, entering a hardcore trance to intensely refine his raw mental energy. Once the refining is totally done, Liu Shang uses that condensed energy to strike the absolute peak of his mental power. The stone shell wrapping his mind slowly cracks open, exploding with a crazy, magical glowing light. A massive force violently yanks Liu Shang outward, his entire body screaming in agonizing pain like it is being totally ripped apart. Boom! Our guy Liu Shang finally unleashes his mental power completely. The shockwave is so insanely massive it straight up shatters every single glass window in the whole building. But yeah, unleashing that ultimate energy has a price. Liu Shang looks like a completely dried up zombie now, just weakly standing there on the spot. Panting heavily, he cannot hide that huge smirk. Oh yeah, our boy just broke through again. After finally catching his breath, Liu Shang eagerly fires up the AI. He wants to see if his future self scored any crazy new breakthroughs. It has honestly been a hot minute since our guy checked his own epic life biography. Wondering what kind of wild stats he will get this time, Liu Shang instantly gives the command. Hey AI, pull up my totally updated personal profile right now. The AI quickly crunches the numbers. Processing request, currently gathering your epic personal data. A second later, his whole life story pops up. Name Liu Shang, male, lifespan from June of martial year 297 to April 452. Combat strength, a massive level 7 martial artist, and his current access authority just hit level 3. Absolutely cracked. At just 18 years old, he became a level 2 martial artist, totally shocking Baihe City. Then, backed by the Baihe Martial Arts Association, he joined the Dongning Province Elite Genius Training Camp. Of course, our overpowered protagonist completely dominated, securing first place and casually becoming the #1 student in his entire school that very same year. The undisputed #1 provincial champion. He ranked top 53 nationwide. easily crushing the entrance exams for Dawning Martial Arts University. Graduated in 3 years, served the military, and retired just 5 years later with the insane rank of Major General. He even founded the Sacred Martial Dojo in Baihe City. By age 65, he officially leveled up to a Tier 7 fighter. Sadly, old battle wounds flared up in July 452. He passed away at 156 years old, happily married. He had 2 boys and 1 girl. Max military rank was Major General, snagging a sweet 3-star historical rating. Seeing his own bio get such a massive flex upgrade makes Liu Sheng absolutely hyped out of his mind. A level 7 Grandmaster. He is totally losing it, realizing he actually reaches the glorious Tier 7 Grandmaster realm while he is still alive. If this was the ancient era, he would literally be ruling over an entire region as an untouchable warlord. Even in today's world, that makes him a massive VIP. Liu Sheng suddenly gets a genius idea. Wait a second. If I become a Grandmaster, then my historical rating and system authority should definitely be leveled up by now, right? Liu Sheng immediately barks an order to the AI. Hey, AI, search up the stellar body refining, natural breathing, and crystal meditation techniques. The AI instantly replies with a yes. Just a second later, countless glowing holographic skill books start popping up all around our boy. Advanced Stellar Body Refining. This insane manual was created by the Level 11 Martial Alliance powerhouse Wang He, officially added right into the legendary Tinder plan. Next up, the Advanced Natural Breathing Method, an epic technique originally forged by the Martial Alliance, crafted by none other than the Level 11 beast Yang Yizhou for the Tinder plan. And here is the Advanced Crystal Meditation Manual too. Created by the Level 11 genius Duan Yifeng and locked into the Tinder plan, Liu Sheng just stares in absolute awe at this ultimate loot drop. Level 3 authority really lets him dig up the god tier skills. But suddenly, one extremely weird-looking book catches his eye, making our guy pretty darn curious. He just has to check it out. Wait, what the heck is this? Liu Sheng quickly opens the mysterious cover, and the contents inside literally leave him totally speechless. The Divine Illumination Wisdom King Sutra, another masterpiece created by the Level 11 legend Duan Yifeng for the Tinder plan. After scanning the crazy text, Liu Sheng practically yells out in shock, realizing this is actually a 100% complete combat manual. Liu Sheng flips through the epic skill book, completely mind-blown by what he reads. So this is the legendary Divine Illumination Wisdom King Sutra. The creativity here is totally off the charts, simply unbelievable. No wonder this insane manual never showed up in the regular combat reports. This bad boy is an exclusive skill, specially custom designed for a spiritual reader. It does not just pack basic combat secrets and mental power usage tricks either. The wildest part? This crazy technique operates completely differently from literally any other mental power skill out there. The main trick of the Wisdom King Sutra is using your own internal mental energy to physically construct an entirely new body. Yeah, you heard that right, a literal second version of yourself. And the micro detail of this new body goes straight down to the muscle fibers. It perfectly copies cells and even reaches the deep genetic level. And it does all this just to grant the user a totally flawless, zero blind spot, full body upgrade. The very first level of this ridiculous sutra uses mental power organs to physically boost your actual body. This directly skyrockets your blood chi levels, which honestly happens to be our boy's biggest weakness right now. His pure combat power was stuck, mainly because his base blood chi value was totally locked. That annoying blood chi bottleneck but if he shatters this wall, he can instantly max out all his crazy core attribute abilities. Using pure mental energy to buff up a fighter's blood, key, absolutely insane. He realizes he totally underestimated the 10,000 years of hardcore martial arts wisdom passed down through history. Trying to invent a god-tier technique like this today? You could not even dream it up, let alone create it. Duan Yifeng, our guy makes sure to memorize that legend's name. A genius with this kind of mind-blowing talent? A whole civilization rarely ever births a second one. Even among the elite level 11 powerhouses, this guy was probably an absolute top-tier god. Yet tragically, even an absolute monster like him could not prevent the brutal destruction of the entire human civilization. Liu Sheng knows his to-do list is huge, and the road ahead is incredibly long. Every single second of every day, he has to grind relentlessly to get stronger. Fast forward 1 month later. Stick with me here. Because over in the training room, Xiaolin is totally hyper-focused on her own mental powers. She is currently standing right inside a testing room, completely surrounded by automated ball shooting machines. Alright, check this out. Xiaolin's current mission is using her spiritual power to control weapons and absolutely obliterate these incoming balloons. She shuts her eyes, senses the exact flight path of the targets, and sends her spiritual alls rushing forward to smash them all at once. Boom! Those balloons are completely shattered in a split second. Lieutenant Colonel Dong Shui is watching from the outside, and seeing Xia Lin absolutely crush this test, she pushes the door open to drop some well-deserved praise. Not bad at all. Your progress is insane. You are already manipulating 3 spiritual alls perfectly. Once you can easily control 6 of them, it means you have officially broken through to the first tier of a spiritual master. Hearing that praise, Xia Lin quickly bows to thank her instructor. Thank you so much, Chief Instructor. I only made it this far because of your amazing guidance. Dong Shui keeps it polite, saying, hey, it also comes down to your own crazy talent and hard work. But then Dong Shui frowns, dropping a huge truth bomb. She points out that there seems to be a massive, glaring loophole hiding deep within our girl's spiritual will. Did someone leave you with some kind of crazy psychological trauma? Instantly, Xiaolin remembers Lu Sheng's terrifying glare from their first meeting, a look that still makes her shake with absolute fear even now. Xiaolin bites her finger hard, dripping with cold sweat as she trembles. Yes, Chief Instructor, you are totally right. Please tell me, is there absolutely any way I can fix this huge problem? Dong Shui just goes ice cold. It is actually super simple. Find the guy who gave you that trauma and defeat him, or just straight up destroy him, and your psychological shadow will naturally vanish forever. Hearing that she actually has to beat Lu Sheng sends Xia Lin into a total panic, screaming out in pure shock. Huh? Seeing Xia Lin freaking out, Dong Shui just frowns, totally frustrated by her weak attitude. What on earth is wrong with you? Your power is growing at an insanely fast rate right now, so a tiny issue like this should not stop you, right? Xia Lin thinks it over. She did hear a rumor that the scary dude has actually been in a totally depressed slump lately. If his strength has totally stalled out and stopped growing, then maybe, just maybe, I can actually pull this off. Xia Lin finally makes a massive decision. Her eyes lock in with pure determination. She is absolutely going to take down Lu Sheng. After wrapping up Xia Lin's intense training session, Qin Xiaojun, who was totally eavesdropping outside, jumps in and asks, "Are you guys finished?" "So how did it go?" Dong Shui sighs, looking a bit exhausted. Her talent is fine, but her personality is way too weak. Qin Xiaojun just laughs it off. "Do you really expect everyone to be exactly like you? Plus, there is no way her personality beats the student I am personally teaching." Dong Shui rolls her eyes. "You mean Meng Jianhe?" "Whatever, I taught him already. We only have a month or 2 left. Just grit your teeth and endure it." "Oh right, is your guy still acting like a total weirdo?" Qin Xiaojun groans. "Yep, nothing changed. Every single day I bring food, he is just sleeping. Honestly, I think the kid is completely washed up at this point." Qin Xiaojun then turns around, brutally teasing Dong Qingshu. "Remember that brilliant speech you gave the students? You literally said, as long as you want, you can sleep in the dorm all day and nobody cares. Haha, hilarious." Dong Qingshu facepalms and lets out a massive sigh. "I really never should have said that." But Qin Xiaojun is too rebellious to stop there. "So, do you still want to use him as a stepping stone?" Dong Shui completely loses it, practically blowing steam as she yells, "You absolute monkey! I was being nice and you still push it!" Dong Shui angrily storms off, yelling back, "Whatever. Just go do a better job teaching your precious Meng Jianhe, because if you do not, when the exam comes, my Xia Lin is going to absolutely destroy him." Qin Xiaojun just sticks his tongue out. Yeah, right, who is scared? Over in the gym, Yang Yan and her friends are stuck doing chores. She looks super exhausted, dragging her broom across the floor and letting out a massively depressed sigh. Right then, her buddy runs over, smiling. "Hey Yang Yan, seriously, still not done? Let me help you out." Seeing someone actually pitching in, Yang Yan happily says thanks. Her friend just waves it off. "Oh please, it is no big deal at all. You totally saved my life helping me out last time." The two of them keep sweeping, just complaining about their lives. Man, I am honestly so jealous of those guys. The ones who manage to score 100 reward points are totally set for the next 2 months. Yang Yan nods in total agreement, while tragic losers like us have to suffer and starve for a few meals just to scrape by. Sigh, we just cannot compete with those monsters. Suddenly, her friend gets curious and asks, "Hey Yang Yan, what exactly has that Lu Sheng from your city been up to lately? I thought you two were actually pretty close?" Hearing Lu Sheng's name makes Yang Yan wonder too, but she just looks sad. "Honestly, I have zero clue about him." Her friend immediately starts gossiping again. "Yeah, I figured you would not know anything. Seriously, you and I know that Lu Sheng is crazy. He came in acting all overpowered and crushed the entire camp, but look at him now. What is the result? The very next day, he just vanished. He stays locked in his room forever. His power level has probably been surpassed by everyone else already." "Hey Yang Yan, do you think he is just a giant coward now? Maybe he realized his talent is fading and his strength is dropping, so he is just hiding like a total turtle to make himself look mysterious." But remembering Lu Sheng's insane abilities, Yang Yan still completely trusts the guy without a doubt. She thinks to herself, "No way, Lu Sheng is absolutely not that kind of loser." Yang Yan suddenly snatches the broom right back out of her friend's hands and turns away. You should just take a break. I will handle the rest of this stupid work myself. Seeing Yang Yan fiercely grab the chores, her friend just stands there completely confused. But hold on, you and I need to see this. A massive crowd outside suddenly starts screaming for everyone. You guys, hurry up and look. Cao Yong is actually about to attempt the 4 times gravity challenge. Wait, seriously? All right, you and I are diving into pure madness. That friend heard the shocking news and screamed, 4 times gravity? Is he insane? Yang Yan could barely believe it. Last time I tried 1 times gravity, I couldn't even last 20 minutes. I almost died, and this guy is doing 4. The friend dragged Yang Yan by the arm. We have to go see this. Yang Yan stumbled along, completely caught off guard. He thought to himself, Lu Sheng, what on earth are you up to now? Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng finally woke up from a super long dream. And yeah, his power just totally skyrocketed. He pushed open the dorm door, his face way colder and edgier than before. Over at the gravity training room, Cao Yong was flexing hard in 3 times gravity. The guy was clenching every muscle just to survive the crushing pressure. Everyone outside was just hyped. So awesome, he is hitting 4 minutes, way longer than his last run. Finally, after hitting that 4-minute mark, Cao Yong scrambled to smash the stop button. He strutted out of the room like a total boss, soaking up all the crazy cheers, so powerful. I couldn't last 10 minutes in double gravity, but Cao Yong took 3 times gravity for 4 whole minutes. Cao Yong stepped out with this ridiculously smug look on his face. He let out a huge breath. Phew, that felt great. Seeing his personal fan club freaking out, he smirked. You guys are scared of just this little bit of pressure? Wait till I crush 4 times gravity. Haha, a total kiss-up ran over. Boss Cao Yong, you will conquer 4 times gravity in no time. You will hit tier 3 soon. Nobody in this training camp will even touch you. Hearing this ego boost, Cao Yong suddenly remembered his actual rival. He rubbed his forehead, still phantom aching. He snapped, how is that guy doing anyway? The lackey just laughed. Lu Sheng, he is literally just sleeping. Every time someone brings food, he is snoring in bed, probably dreaming about who knows what. Ha ha ha. Cao Yong sneered. What a totally arrogant fool. Sure, he beat me before, but even a slow turtle will stomp a rabbit that just sleeps all day. Plus, he slept for a whole month and wasted 1,000 points. Honestly, I would completely wreck him right now. While Cao Yong was busy daydreaming, a shadow suddenly zoomed right past him. Our tough guy actually stood there frozen for a second. Excuse me, Lu Sheng said, casually walking by. When Cao Yong finally recognized him, he absolutely lost his mind. Lu Sheng! Lu Sheng stopped right at the gravity room. So this is the gravity training room? Doesn't look too bad. Cao Yong leaned on the door, practically dripping with sarcasm. Finally out of bed? What? Slept for a month and finally remembered this place? Lu Sheng completely ignored his yapping. He just swiped his card, thinking to himself, wow, eating really burned through a ton of my points. Let's do 3 hours. Checking the system, he just casually locked in a 3-hour session. 3 hours, double gravity, points deducted. The room fired up, and Lu Sheng strolled right in. But wait, he had to drop a sick burn first. A month, huh? Perfect time to test out my new power. Cao Yong screamed in pure rage. Damn it, you slept all month and talk about getting stronger? Are you kidding me? The heavy door slid shut as the system started counting down. 5. Cao Yong poked his head in. Hey, you didn't even warm up first. The system warned about the crushing gravity effects. 3. User Lu Sheng, double gravity. Cao Yong watched from outside, absolutely thrilled for disaster. This room is no joke. If you don't follow the warm-up rules, the sudden pressure will totally freeze you in place and literally crush your organs. Ignorant or just arrogant, this guy is dead meat. 1. Cao Yong and the peanut gallery stared inside, expecting a bloodbath. But nothing happened. Lu Sheng just stood there perfectly fine, making the silence incredibly awkward. Cao Yong crossed his arms, completely baffled. The gravity is actually on, right? Why isn't he even flinching at all? Lu Sheng suddenly smashed the ground, busting out a ridiculously fast martial arts routine. Everyone outside dropped their jaws. Cao Yong was literally paralyzed by pure disbelief. That kiss-up from earlier? His legs totally turned to jelly. He stuttered in sheer terror. The other trainees noticed Lu Sheng casually throwing punches in double gravity and absolutely lost it. Wait, is that Lu Sheng? Look, guys, he is throwing bone-crushing strikes under all that insane gravity pressure. The crowd swarmed the glass. This has to be fake, right? You and I both know they were just panicking. Absolute chaos. All right, check this out. After crushing a quick set and stretching out, our boy Lu Sheng is feeling seriously good. Not bad at all. He strolls over to the control panel, hunting for a bigger challenge. Wait, is it this button? Meanwhile, Cao Yong is lurking outside the glass, watching Lu Sheng mess with the controls. He smirks, thinking our boy has finally hit his limit and is begging to quit. Nope, Lu Sheng smashes that button, and the gravity room instantly blasts a deafening alarm. The sheer noise physically hurts everyone standing around. People are desperately covering their ears to block out the crazy noise. Some guys are literally dropping to the floor in pure agony. What on earth just happened? Cao Yang stammers out, completely drenched in cold sweat. Look at the display screen outside the room. Level 4 gravity. Cao Yang finally realizes Lu Sheng cranked it to 4 times normal. Feeling that massive weight crushing down on him, Lu Sheng just casually thinks, so this is what cranked up gravity actually feels like. Oh, it is on. He drops onto one knee and firmly plants his hand. The peanut gallery outside immediately starts laughing their heads off. They think he is totally crushed. But nope, Lu Sheng pushes up into a 2-finger handstand. Right then, Xia Lin stumbles back. She is totally exhausted from her super strict instructor. Walking past the gravity room, she notices a massive crowd gasping. Being naturally nosy, she wanders over to see the big fuss. She hurries over to get the hot gossip, only to find everyone staring with their jaws glued to the floor in pure shock. Still totally clueless, she taps someone and asks what exactly is so incredibly fascinating today. Then she looks through the glass and lets out a massive scream. Lu Sheng is doing a 2-finger handstand under level 4. This is completely insane, leaving her making the exact same utterly speechless face as the rest. Her brain is blue screening with giant question marks, crying internally while laughing nervously at him. Cao Yang is having a total meltdown too. He slumps against the wall with a heavy thud, officially questioning his entire existence right now. Just minutes ago, he was absolutely convinced he could win. But now the massive gap is painfully clear. Why is this guy so insanely overpowered? Cao Yang is practically going rabid, violently grinding his teeth in absolute denial. Didn't that dude sleep for a month? The sleeping rabbit is miles ahead of the poor little turtle Cao Yang. Our turtle Cao Yang is metaphorically sobbing in the dirt, completely shattered by reality. 100 push-ups later, Lu Sheng casually decides 4 times gravity is actually feeling pretty cozy. He hits the control panel again. The crowd outside spots the new numbers and completely loses their minds, screaming level 5. Oh my gosh, get everyone over here. He absorbs the massive weight and smoothly shifts into a natural breathing technique to center himself. Listen up, guys. Once word drops about the 5 times gravity stunt, literally every student in camp stampedes over sporting absolute panic. Did you hear? Someone is surviving the gravity room. Wait, is that actually for real? Even Lin Chengyu, the hater who mocked our guy earlier, is practically snapping his teeth in fury. That annoying monster is actually back. The hallway outside the room is packed like sardines, and yep, it is totally him. Lu Sheng is just stacking surprises like crazy. Poor Cao Yang looks like his eyes might literally pop out. He slams his sweaty face against the glass, staring inside with absolutely maximum levels of confusion. Inside that crushing 5 times gravity, Lu Sheng is just casually hopping around like it is absolutely nothing. He figures this weight is honestly the perfect sweet spot for his current training. He starts testing out his stellar body refinement moves. Throwing a quick punch, he gauges just how much force he can actually handle. But nope, still not enough. He realizes he needs way more pressure to truly smash through his absolute physical limits. He heads toward the panel and everyone sighs in relief. Wait, what is he doing now? Did he finally hit his limit and decide to turn off the gravity effect? Surviving level 5 this long is already legendary. But crazy enough, Lu Sheng does not hit stop, he actually cranks it up. Watching him push it further literally breaks the brains of every single student standing out there. Meanwhile, in the command room, Dong Qingsui looks completely bored. Another 2 quitters today? How are so many recruits tapping out already? Qin Shaojun hands her an ice-cold lemonade. He casually mentions these spoiled so-called geniuses just cannot handle a little real hardship. All right, you and I are diving into some serious drama. Dong Qingsui sips her lemonade looking totally bored. Can't handle a tiny bit of struggle? She scoffs. If they cry now, how will they survive real battlefields against massive alien beasts later? Are they gonna quit? She frowns at her drink, way too much sugar. Instructor Qin Shaojun just laughs at her. You are honestly pushing them way too hard, he says. Honestly, the quality of this batch isn't even that bad. I bet 80% of these kids will survive until the training camp actually closes. Qin Shaojun checks the monitors, grinning like a proud dad. Look at this. Both the gravity and agility rooms just had their records smashed. But mid-sentence, his jaw drops to the floor. He absolutely freezes, staring in pure disbelief. Hey, somebody just broke the all-time historical record in the gravity room. Dong Qingshui barely reacts, sipping casually. Historical record? Let me guess, Cao Yang? I remember that guy was getting close to 4 times gravity, right? Qin Shaojun forces an incredibly awkward laugh. Ha, nope. It's someone you would absolutely never expect in a million years. Lu Sheng. 8 times gravity. Hearing the name Lu Sheng, Dong Qingsui is so stunned she literally crushes her glass into pieces. What did you just say? You said Lu Sheng? Qin Shaojun is hyped. What insane level is this kid even at right now? Dong Qingxiaowei brushes off the shattered glass. I do not know, but the absolute monster we've been looking for, we finally found him. Meanwhile, inside the intense gravity training room, our boy Lu Sheng is enduring absolutely terrifying pressure. The force is so heavy it crushes him down, making it impossible to even sit up straight, just painful grunts. His body is literally on the verge of total collapse. Lu Sheng realizes that 8 times gravity is way too huge a burden for his current blood qi. He is hitting his absolute limit here. His physical endurance is completely running on empty. Time for desperate measures. Let's try that brand new technique, he thinks. Lu Sheng quickly uses his raw mental power to reconstruct an entirely new, perfect heart, matching every single cellular molecule flawlessly. Then, he uses this mental heart to wrap right around his real one, forging a crazy, strong, super-powered protective barrier inside him. The second he finishes this insane heart trick, a terrifying surge of pure energy explodes from his chest, rushing wildly through his entire body. Surging directly through his blood vessels, this massive spike of raw power violently knocks Lu Sheng flat on his back. He struggles up to feel this insane new strength. Panting hard, he realizes just building one part of the cardiovascular system boosted his blood qi by nearly 10%. So this is the legendary Divine Illumination Sutra. Lu Sheng happily clenches his fist with a cocky grin, thinking, all right, let us see where my real limit actually lies. And with that, he dashes straight for the control panel. You and I know he's crazy, but the outside crowd is losing their minds seeing him touch the panel again. What is this absolute madman doing? It is already at 8 times gravity. Surely he wouldn't dare increase it. Right on cue, the thick glass door of the gravity room loudly cracks open. The crushing gravity leaking out instantly presses several nearby students flat into the actual dirt. Cao Yang is genuinely terrified out of his mind right now, screaming in panic. Lu Sheng, what in the world are you trying to do to us? Boom. The system coldly announces 10 times normal gravity. Under this absurd 10 times gravity, Lu Sheng is pinned brutally to the floor, completely paralyzed. Even the solid ground shatters to pieces under the terrifying, overwhelming pressure. Lu Sheng groans through the pain. So heavy, every single bone in my body is literally screaming. My blood is basically stopping. Forget moving an inch. Just keeping my eyes open and staying conscious is taking absolutely everything I have. This 10 times gravity is way beyond what his body can handle right now. But somehow, against all normal logic, our guy just starts getting super excited. That crazy urge to conquer obstacles pumps him full of adrenaline. He eagerly shouts out, "This is exactly what I wanted. I can change the future and stop the apocalypse." Who does it take? A master of high-level techniques? Someone born with ultimate talent? Or maybe a rich kid with infinite resources? Channeling every ounce of his willpower, Lu Sheng stubbornly forces himself to his feet. He roars, "No! It takes someone who can completely shatter their own limits." After all that impossible struggle, Lu Sheng actually manages to stand totally firm, violently blasting out an unbelievable wave of pure, overwhelming energy. Right at this very moment, every single bystander outside feels the shockwave of this massive power. Nobody even has the guts to stand up straight and face that aura. Lu Sheng's power level right now is just flat out unrivaled. Watching him push through like an absolute beast, Yang Yan silently thinks to herself, wow. The real Lu Sheng is finally back in action. When Lu Sheng casually strolls out of that hellish gravity room, everybody stares at him with totally horrified eyes. The crowd literally parts like the sea just to let him through. He walks out completely drenched in sweat. Seeing this, a pretty girl steps forward, totally blushing, and shyly offers our sweaty hero a fresh towel for his face. Lu. Classmate Lu Sheng. Here, a towel. Lu Sheng turns around, looking at her in complete confusion, while the other girls nearby glare with pure jealousy. Not wanting to ruin the nice gesture, he casually takes the fluffy towel with a small, polite smile and speaks up. Yeah, thanks. He grabs the towel and just walks off like a boss, leaving those girls jumping and squealing in absolute joy behind him. Of course, our guy doesn't pay any attention to their fangirling at all. He whips out his phone, annoyed. If he knew breaking his limits would be this quick, he wouldn't have spent 3 whole hours of training points. What a massive waste of his precious credits. Stick with me here, because moments later, a weird notification pops up on his screen. And whatever he clicks on leaves Lu Sheng completely shocked. Oh, look at that. Breaking records actually drops sweet bonus points. A massive bell rings out. Yep, new record shattered, bonus points secured. Right on the leaderboard, Lu Sheng is chilling at number 1 with 4,335 points. Seeing his insane score leaves everyone absolutely speechless. One guy glances down at his own pathetic 6 points and just screams, "Wait, what? 4 digits? If you add all of ours together, it's not even half his score. Bro, I haven't eaten meat in 3 whole days." Lu Sheng is just thrilled with the huge payout. He figures 4 grand is finally enough for a decent meal. Next stop? The training room. Some random student sees the absolute legend walking their way and completely hallucinates, thinking, oh my gosh, he is totally walking toward me. Nope. Wherever Lu Sheng steps, the crowd just instinctively parts like the Red Sea, clearing a massive path for him. Under everyone's absolutely dumbfounded stares, Lu Sheng just casually strolls forward, hands stuffed coolly in his pockets. Seeing that he's clearly not stopping anytime soon, the entire horde of students quickly scrambles to follow his every move. Lu Sheng really is just built different. Where are we watching this guy go now? We gotta follow him and see. Yang Yan stands frozen, staring at Lu Sheng's retreating back in pure awe. His overwhelming presence just casually eclipses literally everyone else here. The students around her are absolutely losing their minds, whispering frantically about the 10 times gravity. That guy is straight up not human. It is absolutely terrifying. Watching Lu Sheng swagger away, Yang Yan is completely overcome with massive fangirl admiration. Seriously, he looks like an apex tiger on the prowl, leading a whole pack of wild beasts right behind him. Yang Yan's friend gasps in amazement. Lu Sheng is supposed to be a pure strength talent, but he just casually smashed Cao Yong's insane defense record inside that gravity room. This is just wild. Could his blood chi value have seriously broken all the way through to tier 4 already? Hearing her friend hype him up, Yang Yan connects the dots. With that insane strength, the direction he's heading next is definitely the agility training room. Meanwhile, inside the agility room, Meng Jianhe is sweating buckets. Thanks to his crazy speed talent, he is desperately flipping and dodging through a terrifyingly dense grid of lasers. Sure, Meng is super agile, but dodging lasers for this long drains your stamina fast. Now he is seriously struggling to keep up his fancy footwork. He tries his absolute best, but zap, a rogue laser completely nails him. The automated system chimes in. Training finished. Your score for this session, Stage 2 completion rate, stands at 87%. Seeing those shiny numbers, Meng feels pretty smug about himself. He lets out a huge, dramatic sigh of relief. The system flashes a big message. Congratulations, martial artist Du 84363. Your agility score has successfully surpassed 52% of all trainees. Meng looks at the scoreboard and gets extremely cocky. He grabs his face and bursts into arrogant laughter. Every single agility score from this training room gets broadcasted across the entire Martial Alliance. I can practically grab a top global ranking anytime I want to. I have officially surpassed half the people in the whole world. We are talking at least a few 100 million people here. Yep, there really is a massive gap between ordinary folks and a genius who awakened a rare speed talent like me. Not to mention, I even snagged private lessons from Instructor Chin. The massive gap between me and these absolute extras is untouchable now. Honestly, just watching me train is enough to prove my total greatness, right? Meng smugly pushes the heavy door open. He fully expects a massive crowd waiting to shower him with praise. He is totally ready for them to start cheering for his once-in-a-lifetime genius talent. But wow, reality hits like a bucket of ice water straight to the face, leaving him standing there completely frozen. There isn't a single soul outside his room. Literally everyone has crammed themselves outside the room next door. Meng blinks in confusion, thinking, wait, what the heck is going on? Where did everybody run off to? Even Instructor Dong and Instructor Chin are over there. What are they watching? Is a top instructor giving a live demonstration or something? He frantically sprints over, grabs some random buddy by the shirt, and demands, hey, what kind of crazy situation is this? What are all of you staring at? The guy he grabbed looks super annoyed and just snaps. Huh? We are obviously watching Lu Sheng. Who else could it possibly be? Hearing that name, Meng immediately lets out a massive sneer. Lu Sheng? You mean the infamous sleeping god of Baihe City? Don't tell me you guys actually think that lazy sleeper can somehow shatter my speed record? You people have gone totally insane. Seeing Meng act so ridiculously full of himself makes the guy instantly furious. He turns around and snaps, excuse me? Who the heck do you think you even are? Getting cursed out of absolutely nowhere, Meng just stands there looking completely brain-dead. He has zero clue what he even said wrong to deserve that. And right on cue, reality slaps his arrogant face. The angry guy gasps in shock, and trust me, you and I are going to love this. He screams, holy crap, what is going on? Meng finally looks inside the room and absolutely panics. No way, you've got to be kidding me. Every single laser machine is firing at full maximum power. Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng is just super calm. He boots up the system, glances around, and instantly figures out exactly how this little training game works. He just casually thinks, alright, so I just need to dodge these shiny little lasers, right? It seems like you really cannot predict which direction these beams will fire from. That is definitely the main tricky part of this whole agility test. But honestly, for a freak of nature like him, that difficulty basically does not exist. The system flashes ready, and the machines unleash an insanely terrifying barrage of lasers. The entire room turns into a deadly glowing spider web, But with absolutely absurd, lightning-fast agility, Lu Sheng just casually weaves right through them without breaking a sweat. Watching this absolute madness, Man Tianhe shakes in terror and screams, "How is this even possible? How is it possible?" Thousands of laser beams are flashing inside the training room. Listen, you and I have no clue what happens next. With this crazy density and speed, how can he survive? Freaking out completely, Man Tianhe actually grabs his buddy by the collar and lifts him up. Are you absolutely sure this is really Luke Thon's first time stepping into the evasion training room? The poor buddy, trembling in his grip, stammers back, "Yeah, man, every single one of us followed him here." Right before this, he casually shattered the historical record in the gravity room at 10 times the normal gravity. Hearing this ridiculous achievement, Man Tianhe looks like he might actually collapse. His eyes are completely bloodshot, refusing to believe this harsh reality. He slumps straight down to the floor, agonizing in his own mind. Luke Than, wasn't his talent supposed to be purely strength? Didn't this guy just sleep for an entire month? How is this happening? The skill gap is just way too massive. The surrounding crowd sees him moping on the ground and worriedly asks, "Hey man, what is wrong with you?" But at this point, our guy Man Tianhe has zero fighting spirit left. He is just drowning in an ocean of absolute despair and total helplessness. Watching Luke Thon's crazy, flawless style makes Dongting Tuyet pretty suspicious. She narrows her eyes and thinks, is this truly his very first time doing this evasion agility training? No way. Even doing this hundreds of times wouldn't make it look this freaking easy. Instead of just fast reflexes, his movements honestly look like he is predicting the future. As expected, inside this evasion room, Luke Thon is literally like a fish in water. He is unleashing his full power, crazy agility, and absolute brain power right now. Step by step, our boy glides through the dense lasers with elegant, flowing movements. It is so insanely smooth and graceful without a single wasted motion. Standing outside, Dong Tin Tuyet cannot hold back the urge to probe his mental energy. Seeing her gearing up to use her psychic powers, Tan Tu Quan immediately asks, "What exactly are you trying to do?" Caught in the act, Dong Tin Tuyet quickly pulls back her mental energy. She feels this frustrating urge to check him again, but her willpower finally forces her to stop. She rationalizes it. There is nothing weird here. Didn't I already probe him last time? He had zero reaction to mental energy, so why on earth do I want to test him again? Am I getting stupid too? Meanwhile, the training room system flashes a massive completion screen. Evasion Phase 2, completion rate is at 62%. Luke Thon smirks internally. This training is actually not bad. He feels like his movements could become just a little bit faster now. Almost immediately after, the system drops a new announcement. He has officially cleared the second phase of evasion training. Every single bystander is left gasping in absolute awe at this terrifyingly fast, clear speed. Holy crap, it has only been a few minutes, and Phase 2 is already over? Yeah, Luke Thon makes Phase 2 look so stupidly simple. Why does it feel totally different from the Phase 2 we have seen before? Hearing these kids call the challenge simple, Tan Tuoquan turns around to give them a harsh reality check. Stick with me here. He needs them to see this massive skill gap. He wants all of them to realize what a true genius actually looks like before calling anything simple. It only looks incredibly easy because Luke Than is the one doing it. His evasion technique is already at the perfect level. Dong Tin Tuyet stands there with her arms crossed, looking fully defiant. I actually want to see just how far his skills can go. Seeing her stubborn expression, Tan Tu Quan bursts into a loud, booming laugh. Haha, Dong Tin Tuyet, I am pretty sure this is the first time we have ever agreed on something. Right on cue, the system announces the start. Evasion Training Phase 3 has officially begun. This time, thousands of projectiles fly at him with dizzying speed. There is almost zero room to dodge, especially with thousands of lasers blasting down at the exact same time. Everyone watching completely panics at this ridiculously dense obstacle course. Massive clusters of laser beams flash non-stop, lighting up the entire training room with a blinding, terrifying glare. Even the bystanders have to shield their faces and squint against the intense light. Wow. Is this really what Phase 3 looks like? Man Tianhe has completely lost the will to compete. His jaw drops in horror, his whole body trembling violently as he thinks, this challenge is just way too hard, right? Thousands of spheres rushing at Luke Thon, perfectly combined with lasers, crank the difficulty of this phase to an insane degree. The speed is absolutely off the charts. Right now, those massive laser clusters light up simultaneously. It looks like a deadly rain of light. Luke Thon thinks to himself, things are definitely getting much harder now. They are even trying to use beams to completely block off my escape routes. Alright then, I should probably use a bit of real effort to test this out. To break through this suffocating trap, Luke Thon directly unleashes his power, violently blasting away all the incoming projectiles. A massive explosion echoes out as Luke Thon swiftly escapes the blast zone. Seeing a terrifying aura swirling behind him, Tan Tu Quan completely loses his mind. Gritting his teeth, he yells, "Holy crap! This is the micro-level realm. Did this crazy kid just achieve a direct breakthrough right inside the training room?" Listen, even among seasoned level 4 or level 5 veterans from the battlefield, almost nobody can train their evasion skills to reach this flawless micro-level realm. I was 22 years old when I finally broke through to the micro-level. Dongtin Tuyet completely deflates and admits, "I was 25. Hearing this, Tan Thiuquan screams back in pure disbelief, "But that is totally different. I am a martial artist with a speed-type talent. All right, you and I are about to watch an 18-year-old completely break the system. Speed hacks included." The system chimes again. Phase 3 evasion. 15% complete. A laser zips right past Lu Sheng's face. We are talking millimeters here, people, but our boy easily dodges it like it is absolutely nothing. The lasers get faster, and he finally breaks a sweat. Dodging frantically, he thinks, "Okay, the difficulty is finally ramping up now. Relying purely on mental power to predict lasers is exhausting." Seeing him slow down, Qin Xiaojun smirks, thinking the kid is finally hitting his limit. Right now, those lasers look like a massive glowing spider web, waiting for him to fall in. Smelling danger, Lu Sheng instantly unleashes a crazy technique. Wind breathing! His speed suddenly skyrockets to insane levels. You cannot even see the guy anymore. Just a streak of light. System chimes, Phase 3 evasion, 62% complete. The spectators outside are completely losing their minds. They cannot track him at all. Where is Lu Sheng? Did he vanish? The system announces again, Phase 3 evasion is 81% complete. Qin Xiaojun watches closely and immediately figures it out. This crazy kid is just moving way too fast. Naked eyes just cannot keep up with him, making it look like teleportation. Finally it ends. Phase 3, 100% complete. Inside the room, Lu Sheng is totally drained. He just stands there, trying to catch his breath. Thinking it is over, Qin Xiaojun happily turns to leave, tossing out some serious praise. Truly terrifying potential. He gave it his all today. Level 10 gravity and Phase 3 evasion? That is wild. Looks like he is totally wiped out. Let's head back now. Dong Qingsui just stands there quietly. Hearing him suggest leaving, she frowns. No, it looks like Lu Sheng wants to continue. Qin Xiaojun is super confused but gets curious and turns back around. Suddenly, the system blares. Phase 4 evasion, 0% complete. Seeing Lu Sheng actually keep going, Qin Xiaojun practically screams in absolute disbelief. No freaking way. Even I only just started the 4th phase. Is this kid really going to power through it all in one single day? Dong Qingshui stares silently, completely locked in. After activating it, Lu Sheng bumps into a weird machine. Suddenly, it is not just one. Countless bizarre machines fly up into the air at once. 4 laser beams shoot out from them, connecting into a massive, terrifying cage right around Lu Sheng. The laser grid is unbelievably tight, leaving 0 blind spots, and it is slowly lowering to crush him. Trapped inside, Lu Sheng grits his teeth helplessly. The crowd is literally swearing in pure panic. What the heck is this nightmare? Can anyone even dodge that? Seeing this insane setup, Meng Jianhe stammers, completely speechless. This is ridiculous. But somehow, after a tense moment, Lu Sheng smoothly dodges right through it all. The system pops up. Phase 4 evasion is 30% complete. Seeing the insane difficulty spike, Qin Xiaojun gets serious. We finally reached this level. Let's see how Lu Sheng handles it. At first, it was just a small laser net. But now, the system took it to a whole new level. These lasers are crisscrossing into a massive, inescapable dome of absolute doom. Lu Sheng thinks wind breathing is already hitting its max limit. So, our guy decides it is time to flex the mental power of his divine illumination scripture. His mental energy is so ridiculously strong right now, it wraps around him like blazing fire. With one move, he distorts space itself. To his eyes, absolutely everything stands perfectly still. Even those hyper-fast lasers. Feeling out his surroundings, he thinks, wow, time seriously feels like it is crawling. If I remember correctly, the fancy professional term spirit readers use for this exact feeling is called time perception. He uses this time to breeze past the lasers. Right now, he moves at light speed, completely invisible. This is mental power reaching a true qualitative change. And this specific mutation only happens to a level 3 spirit reader, which means, wait, did I finally step into the official ranks of a level 3 spirit reader? So cool. Dong Qingshui looks absolutely horrified by his ridiculous surge of power. She feels this overwhelmingly massive mental energy. It is so strong, it shatters the training room glass. Are you seeing this? Even the solid ground is cracking open from his insane mental wave. Standing by the shattered glass, Dong Qingshui smiles happily. Are you really a spirit reader? Qin Xiaojun turns, sees her, and just freezes like a total statue for a while. At this moment, Dong Qingshui completely unleashes her own intense mental power. A perfectly clear avatar made entirely of mental energy is slowly materializing. Feeling that terrifying mental pressure, everyone nearby nervously backs the heck up. Tan Tiu Quan completely loses his cool and screams. What are you doing? Are you actually insane right now? Dong Tin Tuyet totally ignores him. She just directs all that intense mental energy straight at Luke Thon. With a deadly serious expression, she casually drops. I want to test him again. Without missing a beat, she gives her ghostly avatar the ultimate attack order. The avatar doesn't hesitate for a single second, rushing straight at our boy. Now, Luke Thon is already busy dodging lasers like a complete boss. Suddenly, he sees her psychic clone charging him with enough scary power to literally rip him into two pieces. But does our main guy panic? Absolutely not. He calmly takes the heat, flawlessly dodging every single lethal strike that psychic clone throws at him under Dong Tin Tuyet's control. Catching a tiny opening, Luke Thon quickly unleashes a massive counterattack directly into her psychic clone, sending the poor thing flying way back. The avatar instantly shatters, turning into a massive swirling vortex before completely vanishing. That blow seriously injures Dong Tin Tuyet. As her mental energy snaps back, the brutal physical backlash leaves her clutching her chest in pure agony. Just one strike from Luke Thon was actually enough to leave her struggling to even stand up straight. Fighting through the absolute pain she forces out, Luke Thon really is a spirit reader, and honestly, his mental energy isn't any weaker than mine. Standing right next to her, Tan Thiu Quan hears this crazy confirmation and is completely mind-blown. Meanwhile, Luke Thon thinks about her sneaky little move. Sure, watching is fine, but actually physically touching him? Yeah, that was way out of line. He turns around to face that messy web of lasers and just feels totally exhausted. Honestly, he has finally reached his absolute limit too. He didn't expect that using his time sense would drain so much mental energy, especially with somebody actively trying to mess with him. Stage 4 is only halfway done. Using the breath of the wind and his temporary blood energy boost from that crazy technique is only going to get him this far. Whatever, forget it, he thinks, stepping right into a laser beam on purpose just to finish. The system immediately flashes a bright notification: training officially over. The final score for this completely insane run, Stage 4 completion, is at 56%. Congratulations, martial artist U2 85632. Your movement speed just crushed 97% of trainees. Now, you and I know that is wild. The crowd outside sees Luke Thon's massive score and literally erupts into cheers. Seriously, is this really just a high schooler's score? Just in the movement category alone, our guy has already surpassed hundreds of millions of people worldwide. Man Tianha practically turns into absolute stone, smiling on the outside while his soul cries. Game over, tears falling. He only managed to hit 52% himself. How is he 45% higher than me? Ha ha ha. Is he really just a strength-type talent? Meanwhile, Luke Than casually strolls out of the intense training room. He looks at his massive ranking on the scoreboard and feels super disappointed, thinking there's actually still 3% of people faster than him. 3% globally means there are still tens of thousands of people beating him, right? I am still way too weak. Need to train harder. Dong Tin Tuyet leads the way, clapping loudly to congratulate our overpowered hero. Huge congratulations. Student Luke Thon just shattered the historical gravity room record, and now you have totally reset the movement speed record for this entire base. So where is he heading next? The practical combat training room, or maybe the mental energy room? Luke Thon really loves dragging everyone from one massive shock straight to another, but he just casually shrugs it off. Yeah, I am not going anywhere else today. It is almost dinner time, so I am heading over to the cafeteria. While talking, he is literally just checking the cafeteria's big announcement for today's new menu items. Seeing his perfectly calm face combined with Dong Tin Tuyet's completely speechless expression makes Tan Tu Quan burst out laughing like a total maniac. Haha, it really is just typical him. 3 whole hours later, right after stuffing himself full, Luke Thon gets called straight to the command room. He walks in and asks, "Chief Instructor, you looking for me?" Inside, Tan Tu Quan and Dong Tin Tuyet have been patiently waiting for him. "Yeah, get over here." Luke Thon politely greets them both, saying, "Hello, Instructor Tan." Tan Thiu Quan cuts to the chase. "We called you here mainly to do a quick strength test, and then we need to discuss a little something with you." Luke Thon quickly agrees. "Sure thing." Dong Tin Tuyet holds up a very sharp blood-drawing needle and asks, "Every single dorm gets assigned these blood needles, right? Have you actually tested your own blood energy levels at all recently?" Luke Than answers honestly, "Never tested it. The needles in the dorms literally cannot even pierce my skin." He groans, remembering how every single attempt to test his blood ended with the needle just snapping in half. Hearing this crazy flex, Tan Tu Quan laughs and says, "I totally told you this crazy kid definitely stepped into level 3 already. Without that insane level of physical body durability, how could he possibly shatter the gravity room record? Dong Tin Tuyet, go ahead and bring out the good blood needle." Dong Tin Tuyet pulls out a premium gold-plated blood needle from her pocket. This thing is specially prepared for level 5 martial artists. It should finally be enough to pierce your skin. Luke Thon holds his arm out so she can draw blood. Once she gets a decent sample, his exact blood energy value immediately lights up right on the needle. Blood energy value? 24.65. A level 3 martial artist. Both instructors stare at the insane data, absolutely and utterly shell-shocked. You and I are about to see absolute madness. Chin forces a smile. Haven't seen a tier 3 fighter this young in 10 years. Chin points Lu Sheng toward the combat power meter. Come on, let us see exactly what your combat power looks like. Lu Sheng gets totally serious. He thinks to himself, if we are doing a test, I have to go all out. Let us see where my actual limits are right now. Lu Sheng channels absolutely all his power into one punch. But wait, he stacks multiple skills together. Tremor, Stellar, Flame, Breath, Perfect Realm Boxing, and 8 times star-shattering force. This punch is straight up terrifying. The machine instantly spits out his combat index numbers. 271,920, that is tier 4 level. Chin stares at the data completely dumbfounded. 270,000. He thinks, a tier 3 fighter hitting near tier 5 levels? This kid is a straight-up absolute monster. Chin hurries over, endlessly slapping his shoulder with praise. Okay, you have officially graduated from this training camp. Whatever you do next is up to you. Just remember to report your rank to the association for their records. Getting praised, Lu Sheng acts totally polite. Thanks, Instructor Chin. But then Dong Qingsui suddenly stands up. Hold on a minute. Lu Sheng still has one more test. This energy crystal is a super weird special ore discovered over 100 years ago. It was found right in the Anstra Canyon of Lion Country. It violently absorbs mental energy. They use it specifically as an intensity tester for spirit readers to see what they are made of. Just touch it with your hand. Push your mental energy inside, and it will check your exact mental intensity. After explaining, Qingshui quickly taps the stone with her own mental power. The rock instantly glows, showing her personal stats. Chin looks at her mental intensity chart and immediately starts hyping her up. Yo, your strength shot up again. Even the purity of your mental energy leveled up quite a bit. Last time you barely had over 3 points. Mental intensity 143.2, purity at 4.2. Qingshui shoots him a look of pure disgust. You think I am like you, just eating and waiting to die all day? Chin snaps right back. Dong Qingshu, you can insult me, but do not insult my precious lifestyle. Lu Sheng finally takes the stone from her. He cautiously pushes his mental power into it while those two watch in dead silence. Suddenly, Chin leans over to Qingshui and starts whispering in her ear. If you said he had half your strength, sure, but if he is somehow not inferior to you, I absolutely cannot accept that. Qingsui is laser-focused on Lu Sheng. Annoyed by Chin blabbering in her ear, she furiously yells, "Shut your mouth! Do not bother me! Stick with me, this gets crazy." As Lu Sheng grips it, a golden aura explodes around him. The stone unleashes a blinding, brilliant light, leaving Qingsui in absolute shock. She gasps out loud, "How is this even remotely possible?" The stone flashes Lu Sheng's stats. Mental intensity 113.56. And mental purity? 20.3. Qingshui completely loses her cool jaw, literally hitting the floor in total amazement. How can this actually be? She thinks, purity at 20.3 is 5 times higher than mine. Refining a spirit reader's power is insanely difficult every single time. It is like endlessly folding a normal towel over and over again, compressing it tight until it becomes a tiny solid brick, let alone jumping 5 times that level. 2 years of brutal training and I barely improved. This guy is only 18, and his strength is just way too ridiculous. Genius does not even cover it. While she is stressing out, Chin suddenly squeals next to her like a totally stuck pig. Badass. Seriously badass. Incredibly badass. So damn badass he is ascending to heaven. Seeing him acting like a fool, her face darkens. She instantly launches a mental punch, smashing his loud mouth completely shut. Chin takes a super heavy hit. His eyes almost pop out of his skull as he screams in pain. Ah! After totally silencing Chin, she quickly asks, Lu Sheng, you have a master, right? You have studied mental cultivation methods before, right? Meanwhile, Chin painfully hugs the huge lump on his head, suffering all by himself. Lu Sheng acts super chill. Yeah, I have a master. My master taught me a unique mental cultivation method, along with crazy skills and application techniques. Hearing this, Qingshu breathes a huge sigh. Phew. Just as expected, she thinks. Having a master makes this totally normal. If he reached this level purely on his own insane talent, I really would not be able to accept it. She praises him. Even with a master, your talent is undeniably strong. You probably haven't even had this awakened for very long, right? You and I know that is wild. He answers, yeah, under 3 months. That casual flex leaves both instructors frozen in deep, stunned silence. Stick with me here. This reveal is completely earth-shattering. Qin Shaojun scratches his head with a laugh. Man, even Dong Shui needed a minute to process this wild fact. 3 months since awakening, and your spiritual power is already at tier 3. And the purity is off the charts. Honestly, our psychic association could wait decades and still not find a total freak of nature like you. Lu Sheng blinks, totally caught off guard. Wait, psychics actually have their own association? Dong Qingshu nods right away. Yeah, it operates completely separate from the regular martial arts system, because awakening psychic talent is insanely rare. I mean, our Dragon Nation has a massive population, sure, but the people who actually manage to awaken this specific mental power? Not even 1%. Your teacher probably kept you in the dark on purpose, afraid it would mess with your training. After all, too much random knowledge creates messy thoughts, and that ruins the pure quality of your mental energy. But for a crazy genius like you, I seriously hope you decide to join our association. We can give you massive resources to boost your training. Dong Qingshui pulls out a necklace, showing off a pendant with a super sparkly gem hanging right from it. She gently hands it over to Lu Sheng. This is my personal token. Take it there, and they will hook you up with whatever help you need. Lu Sheng grabs the necklace and shrugs. Honestly, I have never even seen my teacher's face before. Every time he gives me advice, his methods are completely mysterious. Dong Qingshu nods, totally impressed. Your master must be an absolute powerhouse behind the scenes. She starts thinking to herself. Any normal kid with Lu Sheng's insane talent would eventually be treated like an absolute literal pile of gold. But this hidden master just lets him grow solo, not even bothering to show his face. Only a top-tier legend would pull a stunt like that. Makes sense, right? Absolute monsters like him do not just pop out of nowhere for zero reason. Meanwhile, Lu Sheng stays quiet, thinking to himself. Blaming everything on raw talent is getting super hard to justify. Should he just casually admit his secret teacher is from 10,000 years in the future? A tier 11 powerhouse named Duan Yifeng. But then Qin Shaojun clears his throat loudly. Ahem. Look, I know you two are having a great time chatting, but let me cut in. We actually tracked you down today because we have some serious business to discuss. Lu Sheng politely gestures for him to go ahead. Qin Shaojun whips out a sleek bank card. First order of business. Boom, 5 million right here. The training camp is not even over yet, but let's be real. You are clearly taking the #1 spot. This is a bonus reward for your insanely outstanding performance. Lu Sheng hears that massive number and practically jumps, his voice cracking as he asks again. 5 million? Dong Shui sees his frozen face, frowning instantly. Hey, you should not be ungrateful. That is literally the absolute maximum budget we could squeeze out. The Eastern Military District has always been super tight on cash, you know. This time, the vast majority of our funding for this training camp basically went straight into feeding you hungry kids 3 massive meals daily. Lu Sheng is still completely lost in the sauce over his 5 million bonus. Hey. Qin Shaojun jogs over and slaps his shoulder. You are literally the most famous eater in this whole camp. If we add up your food bill alone, it hits around 7 or 8 million. Hearing that insane number, Lu Sheng chokes out, 7 or 8 million? He just freezes on the spot, his face turning pale. Wait, that camp food was actually that expensive? Does this mean he will not be able to afford eating like that ever again? Dong Shui looks at him sincerely. Student Lu Sheng, even though this cash seems a bit low, it is absolutely enough to prove the true sincerity of our Eastern Military District. Which brings us to thing number 2. Lu Sheng grips the card, asking, the Eastern Military District? Are you guys actively trying to recruit me right now? Qin Shaojun praises his smarts. You can definitely look at it that way. Dong Shui gets deadly serious. You probably already know this, but a martial arts prodigy like you will inevitably hit the battlefield to slaughter enemies someday. Swords are forged in blood and iron. You cannot breed a true dragon warrior by hiding out in a safe zone and pretending the real world does not exist. Qin Shaojun quickly chimes in. The nation and the Martial Alliance do not just hand out privileges and massive support for you to chill. You will step up to the front lines eventually. We just hope that when it comes time to pick a military faction, you give our Eastern District some serious priority over the others. Qin Shaojun slides closer, gripping Lu Sheng's shoulder like an old buddy. Heh. Besides, our Eastern District has one massive, unbeatable advantage over the rest. The female soldiers in our district? Absolute top-tier beauties in the entire nation. That beauty, those bodies, everyone is rocking serious curves and endless legs. He is babbling, literally spitting everywhere, when suddenly, wham! Dong Shui uses her pure psychic power to launch a chair straight into his face, sending the guy flying completely across the room. After totally dealing with his nonsense, Dong Shui turns calmly back to Lu Sheng. Alright, there is just one final thing to cover. We have actually decided you will officially represent Dongning Province's genius roster in the Eastern District's massive Qiming General Star selection process. Lu Sheng blinks in total surprise. Qiming General Star? Dong Qingshui breaks it down. Yep, the entire Eastern Province throws this massive training camp every single year for top-tier geniuses. The whole point? To pluck one freak of nature out of 10,000 who actually has the guts to be a general star. You probably know what that kind of crazy title means, right? Lu Sheng goes completely deadpan. Yeah, it means absolute high rank, the absolute genius among geniuses, the guy standing straight at the top of the food chain, a grandmaster. Qin Shaojun chimes in. The Morningstar General is literally a future grandmaster, the ultimate reserve powerhouse. Look, you and I know how crazy this is. The entire Eastern region gets exactly one of these monsters a year, handpicked from the absolute best. Lu Sheng, think about it. But our guy doesn't even blink. Zero hesitation. He just straight up drops, I'm in. He is thinking, if he is stuck living in this chaotic era, dodging trouble is completely off the table anyway. If he wants to use his fists to literally rewrite the destiny of the human race, he has to spark that raging fire himself and completely flip the script. Qin Shaojun claps him on the shoulder, super hyped. Instructor Dong and I are totally betting on you. Honestly, if someone like you cannot pull this crazy feat off, then absolutely nobody in this entire Dongning batch stands a chance. Oh, almost forgot to drop the best part on you. The loot for winning this whole selection comes straight from the Eastern military region itself. Way fatter paychecks and gear than a tiny little training camp like ours could ever afford. Got it, Lu Sheng says. But in his head, he is already doing the math. Show off more freakish talent, rake in way more loot. Dong Qingshui steps up with a quick reality check. You only have a few months before the Morningstar General selection kicks off. It only officially starts once every single provincial camp wraps up. I will ping you when it is time. Don't worry, we are not going to let you miss the big college entrance exams over this. Qin Shaojun just shrugs it off. With your insane stats, skipping the college exams honestly would not even matter. Every martial arts college in the East would be begging for you. Lu Sheng immediately asks, so, can I just crash at this training camp? Qin Shaojun scoffs. Whatever, man. Did I not already tell you that you can do whatever the heck you want? If you are bored, you can bail whenever you feel like it. Lu Sheng thinks for half a second, then spins around to leave, a massive smirk on his face. Cool, I am staying longer then. If we are done here, I am going back to chill. Qin Shaojun turns to Dong Qingshui with a total deadpan look. Bruh, I bet my life that kid is only staying because the food is free. Watching him casually stroll away, Dong Qingshui lets out a heavy, defeated sigh. Wow, I never thought there would come a day where I, Dong Qingxue, would actually be this violently jealous of someone else's broken talent. Qin Shaojun shakes his head. Yeah, but he is built different. That guy was literally destined to be anything but normal from the very start. You and I both see it. Lu Sheng is going to flip this entire era upside down and totally break the system. Fast forward to bright and early. Lu Sheng strolls right into the Baihe City Martial Arts Association, building like a boss. Holding a sealed file, he glances around the lobby. He is thinking to himself, man, it has definitely been a hot minute since I visited. Pretty sure President Xiao's office is up on the 6th floor. While hunting for the room, he suddenly hears some crazy shouting exploding from inside. Enough, old man Xia, did you seriously come here just to piss me off? The assistant standing guard outside sees Lu Sheng and forces the most awkward smile ever. Lu Sheng. Oh man, you are finally back. He points at the yelling door like, what is going on? She panic opens it and basically shoves him inside. Just get in there, she whispers, then instantly announces, President Xiao, Lu Sheng is here. Lu Sheng just casually strolls right in. Boom. The second he enters, some super cheerful old guy walks up yelling, while President Xiao just sits there fuming, absolutely refusing to speak. The old dude gets right in his face, super hyped. Old Xiao, is this the top-tier genius you keep bragging about? Not bad at all. Truly a brilliant young punk. I literally told you, old Xiao, stop getting so mad. Just face the facts. Not every random kid gets to be as unbelievably awesome as my precious little granddaughter. President Xiao is literally shaking from old man Xia's roasting. He is cowering in his seat, barely even able to hold his teacup straight. But old Xia will not stop flexing. He shoves his phone wallpaper forward, patting Lu Sheng's shoulder like he is comforting him, but he is totally just gloating. Listen, being worse than my Xiaolin is normal. Half the kids in Baihe City are worse than her. Yeah, it is what it is. Lu Sheng totally ignores him and just hands his sealed file over to the Baihe City president for official approval. Xia spots the file and immediately starts roasting him again. Oh boy. Hey kid, did you screw up big time at the training camp or something? Making old Xiao here take the blame for your mess? That is pretty ruthless, kid. President Xiao snatches the file, his face literally turning purple with pure rage at Xiao's smug attitude. He violently rips open the envelope and glares down at the test results inside. But the second he actually reads it, Xiao's jaw drops. Lu Sheng's score completely breaks his brain. He shoves the paper right up to his eyeballs like it is a hallucination. Xia sees him frozen stiff like a glitching NPC and starts laughing, totally ready to add fuel to the fire. Careful, old Xiao. Don't get so angry you actually pass out. Xiao totally ignores him and screams. Lu Sheng, since when did you break through to a level 3 martial artist? Watch this, guys. Old Xiao's eyes literally pop out of his skull in pure shock. So Lu Sheng just stands there, totally chill, and says, "You and I know he is about to drop a massive bomb. About a month ago, Chief Instructor Dong personally tested my stats. She said the military district can officially certify martial artists. I just needed to find you to stamp it." President Xiao is absolutely beaming. The dude is smiling so hard his face might actually crack in half. Totally eating this up. Certify you? Oh, you better believe we have the authority. Ha ha ha. Your chief instructor basically represents the entire Eastern Military District. Hand it over, kid. I will stamp that paper right this second. But before he can even grab the stamp, old Xia angrily snatches the report right out of his hands. Let me see that, he barks, totally convinced the whole thing is completely fake. Old Xia stares hard at the paper, and boom, he starts sweating bullets. Level 3 martial artist, 18 years old, 270,000 combat power. This old guy still refuses to believe his own eyes. He holds the paper up, glares suspiciously at our boy Lu Sheng, and mutters, "Did you seriously forge this military document somewhere?" President Xiao violently snatches the document back. Oh, it is finally payback time against old Xia. Gimme that. A fake document? I dare you to try faking something like this. The giant embossed seal of the Eastern Military District is smacked right on it. Are you blind? President Xiao points at the bright red stamp, grinning at old Xia like an absolute menace. Humiliated, old Xia completely loses it and screams, "I refuse to believe a punk who got kicked out of boot camp early somehow has 270,000 combat power. How is that possible?" Lu Sheng just sighs heavily. "Look, man, I never actually said I got kicked out. You just totally assumed that all on your own." "Oh, right, President Xiao. The chief instructor told you to call her. She figured you guys might not believe this paper and wanted to verify it face to face." President Xiao chuckles, patting old Jia on the shoulder with the smuggest winner face ever. Why wouldn't I believe it? Am I the type to doubt people? Right, old man Xia? Old Xia is so furious he literally cannot speak. He just glares at President Xiao with pure, unadulterated hatred. President Xiao excitedly boots up his computer, practically vibrating as he says, "But we should definitely make this call. I heard Chief Instructor Dong Qingxue is a famous genius in the Eastern Military District. This video call is the perfect chance to admire her." The call connects instantly. Dong Qingxue appears on screen and immediately says, Lu Sheng, you finally arrived? President Xiao Yuhei of Baihei City here." President Xiao frantically greets her. "Yes, it is me. Hello, Chief Instructor Dong." Meanwhile, old Xia is sweating absolute buckets of cold terror, his whole body shaking. It is actually the legendary Chief Instructor Dong. Wait, you and I are about to see something hilarious. Xia Lin, who is training with Dong Qingxue, peeks into the frame. "Wait, is that Grandpa's voice? Grandpa, where are you? Why are you video calling Chief Instructor Dong?" Dong Qingxue shoots her a deadly, annoyed glare and completely turns around to scold Xia Lin. "Xia Lin, have you finished the training goals I set? Why are you getting distracted right now? Your training volume just multiplied by 10 today." Terrified, Xia Lin hugs her head, trembling as she whimpers, "Yes, Instructor Dong." Watching this brutal scolding live on camera, Lu Sheng and President Xiao both shoot old Xia super awkward, annoyed looks. President Xiao quickly shoves old Xia completely out of the way, laughing. "All right, let us get back to the main business. You and your granddaughter can chat later," he mutters. "Instructor Dong, the document you had Lu Sheng show me, I will handle it immediately." Shoved to the side, old Xia's face turns black with rage, completely helpless. Dong Qingxue nods, totally satisfied. Good, do not mess up his big event coming up next month. After all, Lu Sheng is officially representing the Dongning Province Genius Training Camp to compete in the massive Qiming General Star Selection process for our entire province. He is the absolute strongest genius of this entire training cycle. He does not even need to train with us anymore. Hearing this, President Xiao literally freezes for a few seconds in absolute shock. Qiming General Star? The strongest genius? His eyes sparkle like crazy. He drags old Xia back over, throwing an arm around his neck to joyfully show off. Old Xia hears Dong Qingxue's words and starts shaking violently. He collapses into a chair, looking absolutely dead inside. He thinks to himself in horror, "Oh no, the insane monster my granddaughter was crying about on video was actually Lu Sheng." On the video feed, Dong Qingxue is still angrily screaming at Xia Lin. "Xia Lin, get up right now. You cannot even handle this tiny bit of difficulty? Do you still want to defeat Lu Sheng or not?" Xia Lin just cries out timidly. "Boo-hoo-hoo. Instructor Dong, I really do not want to. I cannot beat him. Can I just run away whenever I see him from now on?" President Xiao cheerfully says his goodbyes, getting ready to disconnect. Understood, Instructor Dong. Then I will not bother you anymore. He is glowing with absolute joy, thinking, Old man Xia, did you ever think you would see this day? Seeing him about to hang up, Dong Qing quickly stops him. President Xiao, hold on, do not hang up just yet. I actually need to speak with Lu Sheng. Stick with me here. This is where it gets wild. Lu Sheng, those exclusive crafting materials for a spirit reader weapon you wanted? I have pretty much found everything that could be found. I will compile the complete list and specific prices to send over to you. Whatever you need me to buy, just say the word. Listen up, you and I both know the drill. Just hurry up and pass the spiritual reader test so you can log into the Star Network and buy it. Hanging up now. Boom! Instructor Dong hangs up. President Tu literally sprints over, grabbing our boy Luke Thon by the collar like his life depends on it. Wait, what did she say? Luke Thon just shrugs, playing it totally cool. Oh, nothing crazy. Just that they tested my spirit energy talent back at the training camp. So Instructor Dong casually wrote me a recommendation letter, told me to go take the spiritual reader exam whenever I have some free time. No big deal. Hearing that casual flex, President Tu slaps the kid's shoulder. The guy is grinning so hard his face might actually split in half. Slapping old Ha in the face again feels incredibly good. Yes! Awesome! Luke Thon, I absolutely knew you were the real deal. You are Bakha City's ultimate, once-in-a-century top-tier genius. Meanwhile, old Ha loses all his previous arrogant swagger. He is literally sitting there, completely crushed, forcing a pathetic smile while crying buckets on the inside. 270,000 combat power? Ha ha ha. At this point, the poor old man can only laugh. Outside the Martial Arts Association, President Tu personally escorts our overpowered teen right to the front door, acting like a super proud dad. Are you sure you do not need me to call a car for you? Nope, I am good. I have somewhere else to be. Tu treats him like absolute royalty. Come over for dinner whenever you are free. I will even introduce you to some friends so you can network. They are around your age, so you guys will totally vibe. I will even cook a few special dishes for you myself. Finally, his taxi rolls up. Luke Than hops into the cab with a smirk. Got it. He thinks to himself, having a massive power level is honestly the biggest flex. Strength makes you a king here. Inside the car, the nosy driver glances back. Hey kid, what is your relationship with President Tu anyway? Why was a huge VIP like him acting so polite to you? Luke Thon stares out the window. Even the cabbie noticed the guy's crazy good mood. Looks like President Tu finally got to show off and win big. Luke Than just gives the driver a super lazy, brush-off answer. Oh, it is nothing. We just know each other. He is always that polite. Suddenly, bam! A massive sign drops from the sky, crashing right into their path. The poor driver completely panics. Whoa, what the heck was that? Luke Thon quickly steps right out of the car to check the absolute chaos. Seeing the dojo sign completely smashed to pieces amid all the rubble, our boy just frowns hard. What in the world happened to the Hong Shuyen dojo sign? Inside the building? Total disaster. It looks like a war zone in there. All right, you and I are witnessing a classic turf war. Master Ning Hong Suyen is beaten severely, his students desperately trying to stand. A gang of arrogant thugs swaggers over, looking completely ready to demolish the entire dojo. The ringleader of this whole wrecking crew is Lam Thiet's son. This guy crosses his arms and sneers. Master Nye Hong Suyen, ha ha ha, we are not talking business today. Today is purely about martial arts. I, Lam Thiet's son, came here specifically to politely challenge your pathetic little Hong Shuyen dojo. Nye Shuang catches his furious dad, pointing right at those absolute scumbags. You call yourself a level 4 martial artist? You only attacked our dojo because my dad was already injured. Lam Thiet's son, you are completely shameless. Meanwhile, poor Ing Hong Suyen, bruised and battered from head to toe, finally throws in the towel. Trembling, he groans. Lam Thiet's son, our dojo already agreed not to accept any new students for a whole year. What more do you want? But Lam Thiet's son is basically a starving wolf. Bursting with greedy ambition, the guy makes his villainous goals painfully obvious. Ha ha ha, so what? If your precious Hong Shuyen dojo actually has the guts to proudly hang up a sign, you should be perfectly prepared to have someone smash it into tiny pieces at any given moment. Master Nanshe suddenly realizes this arrogant punk's only goal today is to completely obliterate his dojo and violently cut off his family's entire livelihood forever. There is absolutely no way he is backing down to a greedy thug like him. You can see it in his eyes, he is ready to risk his own life to protect this dojo. You are not wrong. If we hang our sign outside, we must have the raw power to defend it. 20 years ago, I came to Bakha City completely alone. I built this entire legacy using nothing but my own bare fists. And naturally, I can still defend it right now. Seeing his dad ready to die fighting these thugs, Ing Shuang panics. But his old man is absolutely burning with intense fighting spirit. He just replies dead serious. It is fine. Watching the old man act tough, Lam Thiet's son just openly mocks him. Haha, if you lack the actual skills, stop talking so big. Just look at your pathetic state right now. You got beaten half to death by someone else, and honestly, you brought this epic fail entirely upon yourself. That 18-year-old, level 2 martial artist, you really think someone like you could actually train a freak like that? Shuang frantically tries to explain. I already told you guys earlier. Luke Thon is absolutely not my dad's student. He is literally just a paying gym member here. Furious, Lam Thiet's son violently stomps the solid ground. A huge crack rips open, and the entire building severely shakes from the impact. The brute screams back, I do not care about any of that garbage. All I know is you leeches used that kid Luke Thon's fame to steal half a lifetime of business right out from under our rival dojos. If you dare reach your greedy hands into our pockets, do not blame me for acting like a ruthless villain. Shuang glares back coldly. Your students canceled their memberships and came here on their own. You cannot blame us. A truly nasty, evil glint flashes in Lam Thietson's eyes. I know. That is exactly why I came to tear down your dojo. We are in for a wild fight. All right, guys, you and I know the drill. If their dojo gets completely wrecked, these kids need a new spot. So who gets them? Yup, this jerk right here. Hearing Lin Tishan acting all high and mighty makes Ni Chang lose her mind. She doesn't even care he is a level 4 martial artist. She snaps back. I am fighting you right now. Seriously, Ni Chang is totally ready to risk her life against this dude. Lin Tishan is not just showing his bottomless greed here. Nope. He stares right at Ni Chang with the most disgusting, creepy expression ever. He flashes this seriously sick smile, eyeing her up like a total creep. Oh boy, now he wants to play dirty. But Ni Hongchuan instantly jumps in to stop this madness. There is zero chance she beats him. She is completely out of his league. Lin Tishan has insane physical defense and he is a level 4 expert. If her dad was not injured, he could maybe force a tie. She does not stand a chance. Ni Chang turns to her dad like, Dad, I am a level 3 martial artist, and Lin Tishan is just a level 4 guy. If we jump him together, we might actually win. Seeing them just standing there, the bad guy totally loses his patience and waves them over. Hey, how long are you losers gonna keep whispering? Keep dragging this out and the Martial Arts Association is gonna close. Just hurry up and get wrecked already. Do you really want me to come back and beat you up tomorrow too? Ni Chang is absolutely not backing down. She charges right at him, fully ready to beat this arrogant jerk straight into the floor. I am gonna make you parade our Hongchuan Dojo signboard all over the streets. Well, Lin Tishan is totally out of patience now, instantly throwing a vicious strike. You got a real sharp tongue, little girl. It honestly makes people sick. Lin Tishan launches this crazy attack that looks like actual tentacles striking all at once. The sheer power completely overwhelms Ni Chang. He dashes right at her, ready to land a brutal palm strike. But suddenly, Ni Hongchuan screams out and throws his own body in front to block the hit. Everything happens way too fast. Ni Chang cannot even react in time, so she just stands there screaming her absolute lungs out. No! Taking that massive hit sends Ni Hongchuan flying straight into the wall. He even carves a huge trench into the dirt, leaving dust blowing absolutely everywhere. Lin Tishan flashes this completely evil, sickening grin. Ni Hongchuan, you really are pure garbage. You cannot even handle a single palm strike? The dude just laughs like a maniac. Meanwhile, Ni Hongchuan violently coughs up blood after tanking that blast. He barely struggles to his feet, weakly groaning out, Lin Tishan, you actually broke through to level 5. Lin Tishan bursts out laughing, looking insanely smug. Yeah, super surprised, right? Ni Hongchuan, you always just hide away in this pathetic dojo teaching little kids. Has it been a really long time since you fought an actual expert like me? Haha, he arrogantly points at himself, shouting, now who else wants to fight? Ni Hongchuan is completely helpless at this point. He shakes in pure agony and mutters, enough. Do you just want our Hongchuan dojo shut down for good? Fine. I will go to the Martial Arts Association right now and cancel the whole thing. Hearing this makes Ni Chang absolutely burst into tears, dropping to the dirt sobbing. Of course, Lin Tishan smiles like a total villain, totally satisfied with his evil victory. He acts all chill now, saying, I guess I can still trust Dojo Master Ni's word. Since that is settled, I am heading out. The whole gang turns around to leave, flashing these massive, victorious smiles while laughing loudly. All right, you and I knew he'd show up. Lu Sheng strolls right in, casually asking, hold up. The dojo is completely fine, why close it? Where will I train? Lu Sheng scans the entire room with incredibly sharp eyes. Seriously, there is this totally ice-cold badass glare hiding right behind his look. Ni Chang is just an absolute crying mess over there. Lu Sheng, he just casually raises a hand like, long time no see, Miss Ni Chang. One of the bad guy lackeys whispers, hey, that is the kid who made all our students run over to this dojo. Hearing his dumb lackey talk, the boss walks over to Lu Sheng with pure greed shining in his eyes, barking at his own minion, shut your mouth. Lin Tishan stares hard at Lu Sheng, violently slapping his shoulder. Not bad at all. You got some serious heroic vibes going on, a real genius. Little brother Lu, are you seriously stressing about finding a place to train once this pathetic Hongchuan dojo completely shuts down? Zero need to panic. Our Tishan dojo will happily welcome you literally any time. I mean, you just saw what happened here, right? This entire Hongchuan dojo is full of absolute losers. They could not even block a single one of my moves today. What could this garbage place possibly teach you? Come join my Tishan dojo instead. I will personally teach you our super secret Tishan technique, zero holding back. Lu Sheng acts totally clueless and innocent, just blinking. Huh? The secret Tishan technique? This guy just loves to flex. Lin Tishan violently rips his shirt open, showing off muscles literally as hard as solid rock, and brags loudly, "Exactly. This Tishan technique is our ultimate, totally exclusive power. Once you fully master this thing, you become completely and absolutely invincible in combat. I am not even hyping myself up. Nobody at my level can even scratch my insane physical defense. Ni Hongchuan failed, and everyone else will fail too." Hearing this absolute disrespect, Ni Hongchuan just sits bleeding in the corner, gritting his teeth. Lu Sheng gives him these huge, sparkling, totally fake innocent eyes. Wow, such an insanely awesome technique, and you actually want to teach it to me? Seeing Lu Sheng taking the bait, he smirks. Of course, you and I know this villain is getting totally played right now. Just join our dojo, make me, Lin Tishan, your master, and I'll teach you everything. Lu Sheng shoots back with the most savage, mocking smirk you have ever seen. So exactly how are you going to teach me? Lin Tishan, totally clueless to the absolute danger he is in, just laughs it off while secretly wondering, wait, huh? Why is this punk running his mouth so much right now? He starts, "If you come, I will," but boom. Before he can even finish, Lin Tishan is suddenly dripping buckets of sweat, completely in agony and violently gritting his teeth, desperately trying to brace his body. His hands fly up to guard his face, while both his feet dig crazy deep into the ground just to stay standing. Every single muscle he has is flexed to the max. Seeing the guy actually survived one punch, Lu Sheng literally gives him a thumbs up. Not gonna lie, that is seriously tough. And then, Lu Sheng just launches another absolutely massive punch. Yep, that did it. Lin Tishan totally folds, blasting straight into the wall. The whole thing explodes into rubble, leaving him completely wrecked on his knees, completely unable to stand. Lu Sheng just stares and mocks. Thought you were going to teach me? How exactly are you teaching me from your knees? Lin Tishan literally got destroyed with just 2 punches. After beautifully handling the trash, Lu Sheng yells out for everyone to hear, "Lin Tishan, you lose." His goons see their almighty master get completely wiped out so fast, and they are basically losing their minds, screaming their heads off like totally panicked flies. Didn't you say this kid was just an 18-year-old level 2 fighter? Why are you guys just standing there? Hurry up, grab the master, and let us run. They furiously haul their defeated master away, but still try to act tough. You just wait, brat. Seriously, Lu Sheng better watch his back out there. Ni Cheng desperately rushes over to help her dad sit up. Lu Sheng casually walks over, asks if she is okay, and politely holds his hand out to help her. Ni Cheng gets totally flustered. She grabs his hand, blushing super hard, whispering that they are okay. Lu Sheng tells them straight up not to close their dojo. If they do, he will have to find a closer place to train, and that sounds extremely annoying. Ni Hongxuan tightly grabs Lu Sheng by the hands, looking at him with absolutely massive gratitude. He promises they will stay open, thanking the kids so much for today. "If you ever need literally anything, just say the word, and I will do it." But Lu Sheng just waves it off like a total boss, saying the trouble started because of him anyway. But he also drops a warning this is a one-time save. Next time some crazy drama happens, they really need to rely on their own strength to survive. Because let us be real, in this wild world, pure power is the only thing that truly rules. Dropping those cold hard facts, Lu Sheng quickly bounces out of there. The father and daughter just watch him leave, completely awestruck. Ni Hongxuan finally breaks the silence, wondering aloud. A half-step level 5 fighter, with fully mastered physical defense, absolutely wrecked by just one single attack from Lu Sheng. That is actually terrifying. Trashing a guy like Lin Tishan so easily? Is not that something only a peak level 5 martial arts master could even dream of pulling off? Ni Chang is shaking. 3 months ago, Lu Sheng was just a level 2 fighter. So listen guys, what kind of crazy monster level is he actually at right now? Meanwhile, our boy heads back home. The second he walks through the door, Lu Sheng flashes a massive, happy smile. He announces he is back, and his mom rushes out instantly. She immediately fusses over him, asking why he is home so incredibly late when he promised he would be back early this afternoon. He just casually brushes it off, saying he saw a bunch of punks bullying some weak folks on the street, so he just threw hands to help them out a bit. His mom goes into full panic mode. She aggressively checks him up and down, frantically asking if he fought and got himself totally hurt. But his dad shouts from inside the house with the biggest, proudest ego ever. He tells her their son is an official martial artist now, so obviously he is completely fine. But moms will be moms. With actual tears in her eyes, she aggressively squishes his face, obsessively looking for any scratches. Did you get hurt here? Or maybe over here? His dad takes a highly satisfying sip of his drink, declaring that martial arts is totally about this. Seeing street injustice and totally wrecking the bullies to save the weak that makes you a real man. Lu Dahai's son is destined to hit the actual battlefield, slay mutant beasts, and heroically protect the entire nation. Then, his little sister sneaks up and aggressively whispers, "Hey, big brother. What exactly was all that crazy meat you mailed back home?" Dad ate it and his body got ridiculously healthy. Even my blood energy leveled up to 1.1. Honestly, that meat works way better than any expensive magic supplements. Wait, did you seriously steal it from the training camp? Hearing his own sister suspect him of epic crimes, Lu Sheng savagely pinches her cheek, asking why she would ever think her amazing brother would do that. He tells her to chill out because he totally earned all of it himself. Meanwhile, his sister is just dramatically screaming in pure agony from the cheek pinch. Ow, ow. While they argue, Mom walks out carrying a rice bowl piled so high it looks exactly like a mini mountain. She looks at him with pure worry, asking if the training camp is horribly brutal. She begs him not to do anything dangerously stupid, because staying alive is definitely what matters most. But Dad struts out of the kitchen, totally hyping his boy. He tells his wife she just does not get it. "Son, your old man can clearly see it. Since you were a tiny kid, you always had this insanely intense main character aura. You are definitely destined to become a legend and do absolutely massive things. But even if you fail horribly, this entire family will forever be your ultimate backup squad." The old man literally thumps his chest with pure pride, which actually makes Lu Sheng crack a genuine smile. He tells his dad he knows, finally getting to completely enjoy these perfectly happy family moments. This super cozy, perfect atmosphere makes him realize something absolutely crucial. Yeah, if he wants these completely normal, warm, and happy days to actually last, he absolutely needs to keep grinding and getting insanely stronger. He has to be strong enough to totally obliterate any disaster and protect everything he loves. So, you and I know what is next. Right after dinner, Lu Sheng dives right back into his intense dreamscape training. All right, strap in. Our boy Lu Sheng is treating these city zombies like absolute jokes right now. These mindless freaks aren't even on his level anymore. But out of nowhere, one sneaky zombie totally tries to jump him from behind. Bam! Lu Sheng shuts it down, sending that loser straight to heaven in a split second. He raises his fist, blowing off the steam. Phew! Right now, even a grade 6 martial artist zombie gets dropped with just one single disrespectful punch. And with that flex, Lu Sheng finally crashes the dead center of the city. Inside the main building, just an extremely creepy, villain-style neon green light glowing in the dark. Lu Sheng chills at the front door, staring into the creepy glow, and asks himself, "So, this is the center of the main base, right?" He remembers the insanely heavy pressure from that super boss zombie he felt before. Now he's wondering, am I actually badass enough to wreck it this time? Better play it cool and sneak in to scout the vibe. Suddenly, he spots a zombie's shadow watching him from way up high, making him totally jump out of his skin. Whoa, that freak is so fast, Lu Sheng literally can't even react. He just throws his arms up to block and desperately slides backward. This isn't your average undead bum. This zombie rolls up radiating massive Grandmaster energy. Lu Sheng is sweating bullets, feeling this absolutely savage power. He's thinking, its physical blood aura is dense like pure steel. A grade 6 martial artist could never, ever put out this kind of insane, suffocating pressure. Our guy absorbed way too many intense combat memories from the Grandmaster realm in one go. His brain is screaming with this crazy urge to destroy everything. Normally, just channeling his crystal visualization technique would totally chill him out and kill that destructive urge. But screw that, he wants to keep this psycho fighting spirit. Time to throw hands. Lu Sheng spams his ultimate combos, wind breathing, 6 times stellar force, absolute carnage. But after dropping all those flashy moves, the zombie literally just stands there, completely unharmed. It swats away Lu Sheng's sickest attacks with one lazy move, leaving our boy looking totally goofy. Lu Sheng is just screaming internally, "What the heck?" Okay, sure, he wasn't exactly going 100%, but that was still 6 times multiplier force, backed by his literally perfect kicking technique. His combat power is over 100,000, bro. And the result? He couldn't even make this monster budge 2 stupid fingers. Total disrespect. That is Grandmaster power for you. Gritting his teeth, Lu Sheng goes absolute beast mode, unleashing his craziest move yet 10 times, Stellar Force Flame Breathing. Boom! A massive explosion and twin heavy strikes slam right into the Grandmaster zombie. The entire area gets totally obliterated, with rocks vaporizing into straight dust from the blast. But then, the epic smoke clears out, the dust settles down, and the sight literally leaves Lu Sheng paralyzed with pure shock. What the actual? There's an insanely overpowered glowing force field completely wrapped around that Grandmaster zombie. It doesn't matter how hard you hit, that broken force field just eats all the damage. Our boy didn't even touch a single rotting hair on that Grandmaster zombie's head. Lu Sheng just stands there in front of the freak, thinking, is this the legendary invisible force field? Not even bullets could scratch this thing. Yep, you guessed it, that is the legendary, cheating Grandmaster force field. Lu Sheng just stands there totally helpless, looking for literally any weak spot, but zero flaws. And the zombie? Just chilling, arrogantly waiting for him to try again. It's not chasing him? Not even trying to attack? Lu Sheng just sighs like a defeated gamer, plopping right down on the ground to catch his breath. Panting hard, he realizes it's completely hopeless. His absolute maximum damage hits that thin little shield, and 99% of his savage power just totally vanishes. He can't even force the guy to take one single step back. And get this, that's just the leftover force field from a dead Grandmaster. Thankfully, this totally busted Grandmaster-level zombie basically sees our guy as a mildly annoying mosquito. It just passively blocks his flashy hits without bothering to attack back. Because if it did, yeah, Lu Sheng would be getting a one-way ticket to the afterlife instantly. Now he finally gets the hype. Grade 6 and Grade 7 might sound close, but the power gap is literally the size of the Grand Canyon. Grade 7 is practically God tier, the Grandmaster rank. While Grade 6 is still just playing in the regular martial artist sandbox, the level difference is honestly just completely insane. Right now, our MC can't even force a single drop of HP damage. So what's the play here? Does he really just give up? Lu Sheng grinds his gears and refuses to back down. No way, there has to be a glitch in the matrix. If he drops this boss, he scores those sweet Grandmaster memories. Getting his stubborn swagger back, Lu Sheng charges in for round 2. This time, he's throwing absolutely everything, gritting his teeth to shatter that stupid glowing cheat shield. Hundreds of brutal, super-powered punches just start raining down with pure destructive fury. But after all that frantic swinging, the troll shield finally triggers a counter. All of Lu Sheng's savage kinetic energy violently rebounds, completely blasting our boy flying backward into the dirt. Okay, yeah, even Lu Sheng hits his limits. He sits his exhausted self down to brainstorm a strategy. Panting like crazy, he realizes something huge. Wait a minute. That Grandmaster's cheating force field isn't actually invincible. The barrier actually weakened a tiny bit. Sure, it was totally microscopic, like literally almost impossible to notice, but the absolute defense definitely got weakened. If he just keeps chipping away like a total madman, there's a chance. But wait, he'd probably have to punch it a literal million times to break it. And honestly, his stamina bar is blinking pure red right now. If he wasn't constantly spamming his fancy natural breathing technique to cheat some health back, any other ordinary grade 3 martial artist would have totally passed out on the floor a dozen times over. So seriously, what's the big brain play here? You and I know the smart move. Fall back, grind for some serious levels, and come back to crush this impossible boss later. But hitting level 3 mental power makes killing zombies under level 6 feel like mowing the lawn. A massive sweep. Wait, our boy Lu Sheng realizes he hasn't even tested his raw psychic strength yet. Let's see what happens. He wants to attack with pure mental energy, right? Mostly because he honestly hasn't learned any actual psychic combat skills yet. Totally winging it. So up until this exact moment, his mental power was basically just sidekick support. He treated it like the Ming Wang Sutra to boost his blood chi, practically forgetting he's an actual level 3 psychic master now. Crazy thing is, compared to his martial arts, his raw power as a mental master is actually way more terrifying. No hesitation. Lu Sheng instantly flexes his brainwaves, turning invisible mental power into these massive, chunky crystal blocks out of thin air. Gripping those solid crystals, Lu Sheng casually thinks, okay, so I can't shape my energy into cool spears or staves yet, but honestly, this will do some serious damage. And boom, he launches his mental energy and that heavy crystal block straight at the zombie. The crystal smashes the monster's protective barrier, shaking it up real good, but sadly does absolutely zero critical damage. Seeing that barrier wobble actually hypes him up to try way harder. It worked a bit, but it simply wasn't enough to finish the job. Lu Sheng refuses to give up, instantly manifesting another massive chunk of glowing crystal. Going all out, he condenses the mass and fuses it with pure power, slamming it down hard for the kill. He wants to shatter that shield completely. Under that insane pressure, the protective barrier finally cracks, practically falling apart. But seeing it still holding on, just barely cracked instead of totally destroyed, makes Lu Sheng completely lose his mind. He frantically spams countless crystal blocks. Still not enough? You're kidding me! Fine then. Flame breathing, maximum mental power, stellar force multiplied by 10. Perfect star fist! Lu Sheng packs every single martial art and ounce of strength he owns into one massive finishing punch, screaming his lungs out. And finally, the shield shatters completely, exposing the Grandmaster zombie waiting inside. But here's the twist. The zombie doesn't even try fighting back. It just stares at Lu Sheng with dead, empty eyes. Honestly, the poor guy was probably begging for this release. Lu Sheng raises his glowing fist for the final blow. Your immortal spirit lives on, old man, and I will inherit your iron will. Taking the hit, the zombie actually smiles in relief. That ugly, wrinkled face completely softens up. And right then, a massive wave of the Grandmaster's lost memories floods directly into Lu Sheng's brain. He gasps out, "What the heck?" Inside his mind, he sees everyone throwing a huge party, cheerfully cheering for Mr. Shi Shengnin's massive breakthrough. Starting from that glorious day, the man was officially an elite Grandmaster. Then the vibe violently shifts. Breaking news shows terrifying monsters flooding the entire city. The situation gets incredibly desperate, spiraling out of control way too fast. Even with the legendary star-level fighters rushing across the battlefield, human defense bases kept falling apart, one after another. The top 100 bases sat right at the center of the Martial Alliance. That was literally the safest zone on planet Earth. I secured the getaway boat. You guys leave this afternoon. Wait, Dad, aren't you coming with us? Shi Shengnin tearfully says goodbye, leaving his wife and daughter behind so he can stay and fight the beast wave. He made sure they had a totally secure shelter first. For the sake of the country, he had to march straight to the bloody front lines. He softly strokes his crying daughter's hair, whispering his final heartbreaking words. Dad is a Grandmaster, so he must stay back, shedding his final drop of blood. The memory skips again. Right in front of him stands an apocalyptic level 9 monster, a beast packing enough raw firepower to easily erase an entire city off the map. Just looking at that thing from miles away gives you the chills. But he's an elite Grandmaster with unbreakable will, so he refuses to show fear. Why be scared? Why? Just as Shi Shengnin hypes himself up for the absolute fight of his life, Lord Wang, he suddenly steps in like a total boss, effortlessly pushing the nightmare monster back. Eastern Extreme Setting Sun, a casual, offhand strike from Lord Wang. He is just too ridiculously overpowered. With absolute legends like Lord Wang, he defending humanity, there is definitely still hope. We actually won. Haha! Watching Lord Wang he fight, he discovers brand new martial arts concepts. Suddenly, hitting the absolute peak of a level 8 Grandmaster in this lifetime doesn't seem so impossible. But right while he's celebrating their epic victory, a sneaky monster totally blindsides Shi Shengnin, impaling him straight through the stomach from behind. He crashes down hard, lying perfectly still in the dirt, watching the beast slowly approach, feeling incredibly cold. Is this really what impending doom feels like? He remembers the Martial Alliance launching the massive Tinder plan. They wanted to combine all human resources to forge an unprecedented level 12 god-tier fighter. Does humanity actually have any real hope left? Too bad he'd never live to see how the story ends. Snapping out of the memory, our boy Lu Sheng is completely freaked out, drenched in nervous sweat. He's practically gasping for air. So that was the brutal life of a martial arts Grandmaster? This memory drop was ridiculously stronger than anything he had absorbed before. What an absolute legend of a life. This heroic Grandmaster named Shi Shengnin, when he was alive, was totally obsessed with mastering bare-handed fist techniques. His flawless boxing skills, the profound secrets of his strikes, his bloody combat experience. It's all rapidly fusing straight into his body right now. Lu Sheng's fist technique is leveling up like crazy. Micro-perception tier. Advanced micro-perception tier. Literal peak micro-perception tier. Lu Sheng stares at his bare palms with insane excitement. The absolute control realm. This is exactly what Grandmaster Shi Shengnin spent his entire tragic life mastering. All right, grab your popcorn. Lu Sheng turns to the slumped zombie dude and says, Wang He. In Shi Chengning's memories, aside from his wife and daughter, this guy was mentioned a ton. And get this, the name Wang He matches the exact founder of the mysterious star body forging technique. Absolute madness. He gives the guy a super deep, thoughtful look. Wang, he practiced martial arts for 1,000 years. Obviously, the dude was an absolute top-tier legend. His nickname? The East Pole Evil Sunday? Just sounds insanely overpowered, right? Even a level 7 Grandmaster like Shi Chengning was basically just a massive fanboy of his. But apparently, Shi Chengning only saw Wang He fight exactly one time and got totally inspired by it. He created an incredibly powerful martial arts technique from that one look. So Lu Sheng is wondering, why on earth can't he find it inside Shi Chengning's memories? Our boy starts tossing things around, flipping through the mental mess. Is it hidden away in an even deeper, darker layer of his memory? After digging for a bit, a shiny, glowing golden orb catches Lu Sheng's eye. He sits right in front of it and mutters, "What in the world is this?" So naturally, he touches the weird, shiny thing. Boom! Lu Sheng gets violently sucked right into the orb. Once inside, moving feels like swimming through actual wet cement. He feels completely overwhelmed. Behind him, countless creepy red eyes flash out of the dark. He frowns, wincing hard at the sheer pressure. Are these the insane enemies Shi Chengning faced? Lu Sheng is half a step into the Grandmaster tier himself, so he really shouldn't be feeling any fear right now. So why is he utterly terrified? Staring at the scene in front of him, Lu Sheng is completely and totally confused. What exactly is hiding inside all that total darkness? And wait, is that figure in the vision actually Shi Chengning? Up ahead, Shi Chengning stands right in the middle of a blinding sun, surrounded by insanely thick smoke. Suddenly, bizarre rays of light explode from exactly where he is standing. The light pierces straight through those massive bones up above and shatters them completely. Lu Sheng remembers ancient myths where the heavenly emperor's sons were golden crows. They had a specific job. Each golden crow literally represented one single blazing sun in the sky. When 10 suns appeared in the sky together, rivers instantly dried up and the ground cracked apart. The terrifying light and heat burned absolutely everything. No living creature could possibly survive under the power of those 10 burning suns. Lu Sheng realizes with massive respect, this is the exact martial art Shi Chengning poured his entire life's blood and sweat into learning. He even planned to use this to reach the supreme Grandmaster skill of the level 8 tier. He totally nailed the name, calling it 10 suns in the same sky. Now Lu Sheng clenches both fists, his whole body exploding with rich energy. He throws a massive punch forward and yells, "It's all mine now!" Our boy Lu Sheng looks absolutely majestic and incredibly badass right now. The very next morning, golden sunlight sparkles beautifully over the incredibly peaceful and quiet city. Sitting on his bed in the warm morning sun, Lu Sheng stares deep in thought at his hand. He realizes his spiritual power definitely went through some crazy qualitative change. He raises his hand, his eyes totally focused, and a purple energy gathers right there. Lu Sheng is shocked. He actually pulled the crazy move off. He can feel that the total amount of his spiritual power hasn't really changed much since yesterday, but the quality, it is literally night and day compared to before, completely different worlds. Looking up at the sky, he feels something that normal martial artists could never even begin to imagine in their wildest dreams. In a very real way, he can sense that he has completely stepped into the domain of a genuine superhuman life form, absolute madness. With eyes full of solid determination, he is totally sure of one thing. Just the pressure from his spiritual power could crush a level 3 or even level 4 martial artist. And not just that, his body has actually developed a true Grandmaster force field. Sure, right now it is just an incredibly thin layer, but by pumping in more spiritual power, it will easily become so much stronger. Except, even if he maximizes it right now, its thickness wouldn't even equal 1% of that crazy zombie Grandmaster's field. If that guy is a giant ostrich egg, our boy Lu Sheng is still just a tiny little chicken egg. In front of his door, Lu Sheng's hand glows with golden energy. Having this force field means he already has the starting concept of a Grandmaster's will. Even though it is just a tiny sapling right now, Lu Sheng clenches his fist hard. That little sapling is growing fast, and his face shows absolute total confidence. Very soon, it is going to grow into a massive, towering tree. Then it will transform into his very own, genuine Grandmaster-level martial arts will. Just wait. Cut to the Ocean Sky Banquet, where Lu Sheng is waiting. He sends a message about the heavenly room, and she quickly apologizes, promising to be there right away. Lu Sheng sits back and thinks. Since leaving the training camp, he doesn't get that daily supply of mutant beast meat anymore. More importantly, he desperately needs tonics to support his cultivation journey. It is officially time to make contact with the people from the Good Deeds Hall. Right on cue, He Lingsu comes running in, totally panting and sweating like a literal fountain. Seeing Lu Sheng, she is a bit surprised that her contact is just a high school student. But she quickly regains her confidence, looking super smug. She figures this kid will be totally easy to handle. Lu Sheng quickly invites her to sit down. He calmly opens the menu, takes a look, and tells her, "I hear the steak at this place is actually pretty amazing." Then his eyes suddenly turn razor sharp. "You don't mind if I eat while we talk, right?" He Lingsu flashes an affectionate smile and replies, "Not at all." She hands her coat to the staff. She looks super friendly on the outside, but inside, she is actually panicking a little bit. How on earth is she supposed to start this conversation? Let us kick things off with absolute madness. Luke Thon turns around and casually drops a bomb. "Waiter, bring us 40 of your absolute best steaks." The waiter, totally sweating, just stammers out, "Yes, sir, right away." The waitress is absolutely thrilled by the huge order. But Ha Lin too? Her face is pure confusion. She is sitting there thinking, is this guy a literal pig? 40 steaks at once is insane. She swirls her cup. Okay, sure. Luke Than is a martial arts student, so eating a lot makes sense. But wait, one steak costs 1,280. 40 portions? That is 51,200 total. Ha Lin Tu starts wondering, Since he is eating all this by himself, he would not dare make me pay, right? Luke Thon glances up and casually asks if she wants any. She politely smiles and turns the offer down. Thanks, but I already ate. The second she refuses, Luke Than does not even hesitate. He snaps right back to the waiter. She is not eating. Bring the food out now. I am starving over here. Ha Lin, to fiercely judges him in her head. What an absolute pig. Putting on a completely fake smile, she starts, So, I came here today. Boom. Luke Thon suddenly tosses a paper right at her. It lists her full background, Ha Lin. To 22, from Ba County, Hung-An Province, Quang Lam City. He stares right at her. Your ancestor, Ha Tae-min, originally started out as just a lowly little apprentice at the old Taeon pharmacy. 15 years ago, when martial arts blew up, he used his decent fighting talent and insane medicine-making skills to rise above the rest. He officially became a level 5 pharmacist, and he founded Han Thien Duong. Hearing her family history, Ha Lin completely drops the fake smile. Her face darkens, and she glares coldly right at Luke Than. Luke Thon does not care about her death glare at all. He just keeps going. The branches spread across over 20 cities in Dongnin Province, totaling 213 stores. And even though Han Thien Duong has remained pretty famous over the last few years, she furiously mutters, "You," under her breath, but he instantly cuts her off again. Luke Thon just stares her down seriously. But because of terrible business decisions, by the time it reached your father, Ha Hak Chi, the whole thing fell apart. Ha Ling too is clearly furious now. She scowls hard at him and snaps back. Did you seriously come all the way here just to recite public online records at me? What exactly are you trying to prove? Just showing off my super memory, Luke Thon replies with an incredibly smug smirk. Right on cue, the waiter arrives carrying 40 plates of sizzling steak. Luke Thon looks like a kid on Christmas. He immediately digs in, savagely devouring the first few plates. Before you know it, a massive mountain of empty plates stacks up. Chewing loudly, Luke Thon casually drops another lore bomb on her. Actually, I also know about your mother, Tran Lam. Because of family drama, she has not returned to Dongnin Province in 20 years. She completely abandoned her own daughter. And as for why the Ha family pharmacy business is collapsing so incredibly fast under your watch, it is not just outdated ideas and terrible management. These brutal words stab right into her heart like a dagger. Hearing this, Ha Lin can only force a painful smile. Luke Thon cuts straight to the chase. The biggest reason? For years, your own mother and the Tran family have been secretly crushing your business from the shadows. Ha Lin absolutely loses it. She slams the table, jumps up, and screams, "What? Mr. Luke, do you have any actual proof of this? You cannot just spout absolute nonsense." But Luke Thon's next words only reel her in even deeper. Real or fake? Just go home and ask your father, Ha Hak Chi. He will confirm everything. Meanwhile, our guy is just mentally celebrating his meal. Great meat, high nutrition, decent energy boost, awesome. Hearing his massive revelation, Ha Lin falls completely silent, deep in thought. Mom left us behind when I was only 2 years old. All these years, I have not seen her face even once. Could she really be this incredibly evil? Thinking about it, she grits her teeth. The Ha family business really has been failing. It perfectly aligns with when her mother left and her dad took over. She starts piecing together all those strange memories from her past. Back then, branches were going bankrupt daily. Even if her dad was truly awful at running a business, it should never have crashed that spectacularly out of nowhere. Suddenly, Luke Than throws out a question that completely catches her off guard. Is it true that every single time you finalize a business deal, your partners mysteriously vanish without a trace? Still stuffing his face with steak, he adds, "Miss Ha, do not be mad at me for digging way too deeply into this." But his words force her to really think. Bankrupt branch stores, suddenly canceled business deals. The weird and creepy coincidences just keep piling up in her mind. If her own mother is really sabotaging them? Wow. Pushing the family trauma aside for now, she looks right at our MC and says, "Everything you just told me. I will verify it myself later. Right now, let us discuss our business deal." Having polished off 40 plates of steak, Luke Thon wipes his mouth and agrees. "Done. I will be fully in charge of providing the medical formulas and technical guidance. Meanwhile, your pharmacy handles all the heavy lifting with manufacturing and sales." Getting dead serious, Luke Than drops his price. "For the final profits, I want 90%. Hearing this outrageous demand, her face twists in utter disbelief. 90%? Are you insane? Why not just demand the entire thing? Leaning both hands on the table, he smirks. I did consider that actually, but figured you would say no. This guy really knows exactly how to enrage someone. Fuming, she tries bargaining down to 60%, offering 70 at the absolute maximum. But obviously, our greedy genius is not going to accept that. He shakes his head and presses on. Those extra 20% are completely non-negotiable. 10% is simply a solid guarantee for our long-term business partnership. Standing up, he delivers the final hook. And the other 10%? That is my personal fee for helping you eliminate all those annoying little troubles. Hearing this, Healing Su looks confused. What do you mean, she asks. Lu Sheng just smirks. Your He family has been completely crushed by the capital's Chen family for years now. He leans in, and you and I are about to see a masterclass in manipulation. Miss He, haven't you had a single thought about it? Suddenly, his eyes flash this intense emerald green. He lays it out for her. Time to fight back. Time to steal back absolutely everything that belongs to her. Now watch this flex. Lu Sheng casually uses his powers, making drops of spilled water just float right up into the air. He looks at her. Miss He, take a good look at this. I am pretty sure you understand exactly what this is, right? Staring at that floating liquid gathering right in front of her face, Healing Su is completely stunned. Her jaw practically hits the floor. Are you a spirit reader? She gasps. Her mind is going absolutely crazy right now. A level 2 martial artist at just 18? The #1 talent in White River City? And now he has the legendary spirit reader talent too. She knows this is insane, even if she doesn't practice martial arts herself. Lu Sheng quickly drops the floating water back into the glass. Healing Su totally gets it now. She fully understands just how terrifying this level of power really is. After a brief pause, Lu Sheng asks her, Miss He, earlier, you specifically used the word you guys. Looks like you don't actually believe I researched that medical formula all by myself, huh? Healing Su stammers, completely caught off guard. Wait, is there someone behind you? Lu Sheng praises her for being so smart. So that remaining 10% cut, that buys her his partnership. And the mysterious powerhouse backing him up too. He hypes her up, building totally fake trust. Is there any better deal in the entire world than this right now? Healing Su just stands there, totally conflicted. If everything Lu Sheng says is true, then sooner or later, she is going to have to face the Chen family anyway. She stares blankly at the water glass in her hand, thinking hard. Even if she hasn't held any grudges or wanted revenge for the past 20 years, those guys are definitely not going to let her off the hook. Because partnering with Lu Sheng for this formula, that gives them the perfect excuse to attack. Having a treasure is a crime. Quick explainer for you guys, that basically means having something super valuable just paints a massive target on your back. Healing Su grits her teeth and glances at Lu Sheng. My god, she thinks, this insane talent, plus the totally crazy manipulative social skills he just showed off? Finally, she snaps out of it. Fine, I agree to give you 90%. Oh, Lu Sheng is thrilled. He whips out a USB drive and hands it over. The Spirit Blood Potion formula is saved right in here, ready to go. She happily grabs it and says, I really hope everything Mr. Lu promised comes true. We absolutely have to make this work. Deep down, she suddenly feels real hope. When that day finally comes, just how unbelievably strong is Lu Sheng going to be? Business done! Lu Sheng casually waves at her. You need to hurry to the Pharmacist Association and register this patent right away. If you do not understand something while making the potion, ask me anytime. As for anything else, I do not care. I completely trust your skills. Oh, and I want to borrow your potion lab soon, so make some time for that. Anyway, I am stuffed. If there is nothing else, I am out of here. Happy partnering. With that said, he just shuts the door and walks out. Once he is gone, she lets out a huge sigh. She seriously thought he was just some dumb kid who would sign any contract she threw at him. But nope. Turns out, she wasn't dealing with a normal 18-year-old high schooler at all. He acted more like some terrifying top-tier boss. She stares nervously at the water glass. Even the way he addressed her completely shifted to sound like her boss. While she is deep in thought, a waiter suddenly pops up. Hello, miss. Are you ready to pay the bill now? She looks at the huge mountain of empty plates Lu Sheng demolished and feels insanely annoyed. He ate literally everything, bailed without paying, and just left her with the check. Sighing in defeat, she asks, All right, how much is it? The waiter taps the machine, 90 premium portions. The total is 115,200. I will drop the change, so 115,000 exactly. That crazy number hits her like an absolute lightning bolt. She points frantically at the messy pile of plates. What? How are there 90 portions here? You guys clearly only brought out 40 of them. Seeing her total disbelief, the waiter quickly holds up the super long receipt and explains. The gentleman ate 40 portions here, then got 50 packed up to go. He said he wanted his family to try it. Cash or card, miss? She is literally shaking as she hands over her card. Her hands tremble, tears well up in her eyes, and she violently screams 2 words in her mind. Lu Sheng. Meanwhile, the waiter is just thrilled about the massive sale. Thanks for your support. Scene change, ding dong. We are back at Lu Sheng's house. He is standing at the door hugging 50 boxes of steak. His mom's jaw drops to the floor. What is going on here? Our guy just smiles. These are all premium steaks. You do not need to cook dinner tonight, Mom. Let's just eat this. Taking the heavy bags, his mom totally freezes. 1 steak per box. Wait a minute. Isn't this food from that insanely expensive restaurant? Are all of these huge boxes filled with steak, sweetie? If you wanted to eat, just tell me. That place is expensive and portions are tiny. How much of your money did this pile cost? Flashing the most wicked, innocent smile ever, he explains, "Oh, it wasn't my money at all, Mom. A super rich second-generation friend treated me. She is loaded." I said no, but she practically forced me to take it. Cut to the cafe. Ling Su is violently sneezing while swiping her card. Hearing that lie, his mom relaxes and carries the steaks inside. Man, we really gotta feel bad for Miss He today. Just do not do this again, okay? All right, buckle up. So his folks are like, taking free stuff isn't cool. Oh, and Mr. Zhang came by asking about our boy. Our guy Lu Sheng thinks, man, what a legend. Honestly, Mr. Zhang hasn't been to school in forever. Guess he's dropping by tomorrow. Next morning at Baihe High School, we zoom right into Mr. Zhang Zhengguo's office. Knock, knock, coming, he yells. But wait, he opens the door and boom, Lu Sheng is standing right there. Talk about a massive surprise. Lu Sheng casually holding a potted plant like a boss. Mr. Zhang, been a while. He cheerfully hands it over. Hey, I totally wrecked your old plant last time, so I bought you a fresh new one. Mr. Zhang takes it, totally caught off guard. Oh man, you're too kind. Taking in Lu Sheng's insane new swagger, he smirks. Honestly though, it hasn't even been that long, but you give off a completely different vibe now. He quickly ushers our boy inside. Come in, let's chat. Lighting up a quick smoke, Mr. Zhang finally breaks the ice. School classes are wrapping up soon. Honestly, after today, I'll probably only be seeing your crazy, overpowered face on national TV. He gives Lu Sheng a look. So, what's the next big move? Lu Sheng doesn't even blink. Oh, hitting the Kaiming General Star Draft, then crushing the Spiritual Master Association exam. Absolute flex. Mr. Zhang's jaw literally hits the floor. He violently shoots up from his chair. Wait, what? General Star? Spiritual Master? Lu Sheng stays totally chilled out. Yep, my training camp instructor hooked me up. Found out I had some insane spiritual master talent there too. Mr. Zhang slowly sits back down, chuckling in pure disbelief. Suddenly, he reaches out, grabbing Lu Sheng's shoulder with this massively proud grin. Awesome. I never really taught you much anyway, so go out there, conquer the world. I am rooting for you. Lu Sheng smiles. Thanks, Teach. A bit later, Lu Sheng heads out. They wave their goodbyes. Standing there, Mr. Zhang realizes he had completely underestimated this wild kid. This absolute madman isn't just Baihe High's pride anymore. He is straight up becoming the absolute pride of all humanity. Meanwhile, in an 11th grade classroom, a teacher is sweating bullets, lecturing passionately. Stubbornness is simple. True freedom is hard. Moving between stillness and action, only the void holds the ultimate truth, he preaches. Poem finished. He dramatically pushes up his glasses, then aggressively slams his textbook down. Veins literally popping on his hands. He screams, "Wake up! Everyone, eyes up front right now." He fiercely smacks the chalkboard. I've told you slackers a million times. Do not underestimate your academic grades. I know half of you signed up for martial arts university, but guess what? These boring written exams still count. Miss just 1 point, and you fail. Making up that 1 point in pure physical stats could take you weeks, or even months of brutal, sweaty grinding. But here in academics, it's just a couple of easy essay questions. Guys, down there, Zhou Xingji yawns like crazy. When does this torture end? I'm literally dying of boredom. He turns around to his buddy Qiming. Yo, Qiming, hitting the cyber cafe after class? I'm about to hit platinum rank. Qiming, scribbling furiously, shuts him down. Nah, go without me. I joined the Extreme Martial Arts Cram School. Got extra training tonight. Zhou Xingji looks completely dumbfounded. Dude, what's up with you lately? Hustling this hard is totally not your style. Right then, the teacher shoots them absolute death glares. Zhou Xingji, Liu Qiming, what are you two clowns whispering about? Stand up. They jump up, sweating bullets. The teacher snaps. You two punks. Completely ignoring everything I say, right? Suddenly, a wildly familiar voice echoes from the doorway. Mr. Hong, I made it. The whole class collectively drops their jaws. Standing right there, our boy Lu Sheng smiles and waves. Hey everyone, been a hot minute. Absolute chaos erupts in the room. Holy crap, that's Lu Sheng. Is he seriously back in class? Oh my god, I legit thought we were never gonna see this legend again. Dude, I heard the association elders made him their ultimate disciple. Word is he's been training like a monster, gearing up to hit that insane grandmaster rank. Liu Qiming totally geeks out. Bro, I heard the mayor even offered him his daughter, but our boy rejected her just to grind martial arts. An autograph. It's impossible to see him nowadays. We gotta get him to sign something so I can frame that masterpiece on my wall. Mr. Hong basically sprints to the door, totally fanboying. Lu Sheng, my star student, you actually came. Lu Sheng casually replies, I just wanted to attend one last academic class. Is that cool? Mr. Hong practically sheds a tear. Yes, absolutely yes. Now, check this out. He spins around, hyped out of his mind. All right, students, open those textbooks. Totally pumped up, he shouts. Let's begin the lesson. Lu Sheng hits his seat, flipping his book. Zhou Xingji whispers to Qiming, Bro, is this real? I'm literally sharing a class with Lu Sheng. His aura is so wildly overpowered. Is he even a normal student anymore? You guys, word on the street is he's already a level 2 martial artist. Lu Qiming stares at Lu Sheng, mind blown. Honestly, our boy has seriously leveled up his vibe. Ring, ring, the school bell finally screams, signaling the end of class. Teacher Hong breathes a massive sigh of relief and slams his book shut. Class dismissed. Lu Sheng casually stands up, flashes a dramatic, movie star smile at the entire room, and drops the classic line, Goodbye, everyone. I promise I will never forget you guys. With that mic drop, Lu Sheng turns straight to Lu Qiming, leaving the rest of the classroom absolutely buzzing with crazy gossip. One kid literally swears, For the first time ever, I feel honored just breathing the same air as him. I swear I'm passing the martial arts university exams. Same here. We can't embarrass the legendary class that produced the absolute beast known as Lu Sheng. Meanwhile, Qiming is just standing there looking completely starstruck. Lu Sheng throws a brotherly arm around his shoulder and smirks. Keep grinding, Qiming. Let's push our ranks together when I'm free. Qiming's face totally crumbles. He's literally fighting back happy tears as he watches his legendary bro walk away into the sunset. Clenching his fists, Qiming makes the ultimate vow. Even if it completely kills me, I will pass that exam and make it to the martial arts university. Later, our boy Lu Sheng is chilling at his desk, furiously typing away while his big brain works. He already told He Lingsu to grab all the ingredients for the spirit blood broth and marrow nourishing pills. These two bad boys are absolute cheat codes for strengthening bones and muscles, but yeah, they cost a total fortune. If he gets enough stock, he's basically set until level 4. But then comes the real headache getting his hands on a proper spiritual reader weapon. Here's the catch, without passing the official exam, he's totally locked out from buying weapons on the 6-star network. So, before the big Qiming general selection kicks off, our guy desperately needs to squeeze in that spiritual reader certification. Otherwise, he'd have to keep begging Dongqing Shui for favors, and that's just a fast track to accidentally leaking his massive secrets. He casually checks the market prices, and boom, his jaw basically hits the floor. The Infernal Blade Wheel? $37.5 million? The Silver Sky Shuttle? A cool $29.5 million. Lu Sheng is absolutely sweating bullets now. The Infernal Blade Wheel and the Silver Sky Shuttle? Those price tags are straight-up highway robbery. He thought his sweet $5 million reward would let him ball out like a billionaire. Turns out, in this economy, it's literally pocket change. Folding his arms, Lu Sheng closes his eyes to run the ridiculous math. Crafting those two elite weapons from scratch requires over 9,000 grams of pure, solid iron. Just one single blade wheel piece takes over a kilo of material. That 5 million? Not even close to enough. Especially before adding all the fancy secondary ingredients. Plus, he's not just planning to forge one measly blade, and since his spiritual power is ridiculously overpowered compared to normal humans, your basic, run-of-the-mill iron weapons? Yeah, those would instantly shatter. He needs top-tier deep silver to forge a weapon that won't break, but that stuff costs 10 times more. With the cash currently in his pocket, he couldn't even craft a single loose screw. Rubbing his chin, Lu Sheng realizes there is only one crazy option left. If you want something done right, you gotta DIY it. He slides his desk drawer open. Sitting right there is a shiny badge and a mysterious, tightly folded piece of paper. Unfolding the paper, Lu Sheng smirks. Thank the heavens he snagged this elite combat resource map from the martial arts Fireseed database. Talk about a crazy stroke of luck. And now, it's finally time to use it. Glancing at the map, he spots an entirely untouched deep silver mine just sitting there, waiting for him at Oxhead Mountain. Flashing a super confident grin, he devises a master plan. He's gonna mine every last ounce of that deep silver himself, then hire a master blacksmith to forge his ultimate weapon. Plus, if he digs up extra deep silver or solid iron, he can flip the leftovers for some serious stacks of cash. Talk about hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Once He Lingsu finishes brewing that massive batch of marrow-nourishing pills, he's packing his bags and heading straight for Oxhead Mountain. Fast forward exactly 1 week. Over at the Hall of Benevolence, He Lingsu is furiously pacing back and forth. She glares at her phone, totally annoyed. Where the heck is Lu Sheng? Look at the time. Speak of the devil, Lu Sheng strolls in holding a lab coat. My bad. Sorry to keep you waiting. Lingsu snaps back with maximum sass. Oh, so you finally decided to show up? Slipping on his lab coat, Lu Sheng suddenly switches to super serious mode. Ran into some minor issues. Do we have every single ingredient ready to go? Seeing him act all intense makes Lingsu blush out of nowhere. Suddenly shy, she mumbles, Yeah, I got everything perfectly prepped, exactly like you asked. Snapping his surgical gloves into place, Lu Sheng stares down a massive table packed with exotic ingredients. He casually asks, "So, what was the total damage for all this stuff?" Ling Su sighs, roughly 200,000. Inspecting a rare herb, Lu Sheng grins like a mad scientist. Not bad quality at all. Put it on my tab, we'll just deduct it from my future profits. Pulling a face mask up, our guy gets completely in the zone. All right, time for me to cook. Miss He, do you mind stepping outside for a bit? Hearing that, Ling Su crosses her arms, looking totally annoyed. Fine, whatever. As she walks out, Ling Su glances back at him, grumbling in her head. They haven't even launched the spirit blood broth market yet, and she hasn't seen a single penny. Yet, she's already burned almost $1 million just buying random ingredients for this guy. Closing the door, she sighs in relief. Thankfully, Lu Sheng's research notes were stupidly detailed. She's completely confident she can brew the absolute perfect batch of spirit blood broth. But honestly, is he researching some crazy new drug? The dude has practically lived in that lab all week. Seriously, how many insane secrets is this guy hiding? 3 agonizing hours later, Ling Su is still waiting outside when the door finally clicks open. All right, Miss He. The ultimate brewing session is officially complete. Our boy Lu Sheng just casually drops the mic. I'm heading out for 2 days. Relax. I'll totally refund your original potion investment when I get back. But he, Ling Su, she just looks away, giving him the absolute coldest of shoulders. Yeah. Lu Sheng just smirks at that. What a famously stubborn girl. But literally the second he walks out, Ling Su bolts straight for his secret lab curtains, rips them wide open, and instantly sneaks right inside. Bingo, she gasps. Right in front of her, a crazy stash of test tubes glowing in literally every single color. She grabs this glowing blue tube, sweating bullets. Just as she suspected, it's that insane, completely nameless new potion he's been hiding. She's actually tested this stuff before, and it's crazy strong. The side effects? Literally intense enough to forge your bones directly. Bone-forging tonics sold out there on the market are high-tier stuff, costing millions of bucks. Yet our genius boy casually brewed this absolute masterpiece using literal pocket change for the cheap ingredients. Like what? How is that profit margin even real? Ling Su frowns, completely baffled. Plus, his backpack was definitely stuffed with even more wild new potions. Suddenly, some blonde dude comes rushing into the room like an absolute maniac. Miss He, I did exactly what you asked. The guy pants heavily. But while checking the security footage, I literally couldn't see a single thing. Every camera glitched out. Once Lu Sheng left, they magically fixed themselves. The monitors went totally dead, but the second he walked away, everything just snapped back to normal. Ling Su just sighs in pure, utter defeat. Ugh, I totally knew this would happen. Trying these basic spy tricks on a literal telekinetic esper? Yeah, that's just embarrassing yourself for absolutely no reason. She stares super intensely at that glowing blue tube in her hand, then just tosses it straight into the trash can. Whatever, I really should just focus on actually cooperating with this crazy guy instead. Because right now, he's her family's only real hope. Now, you and I are jumping to Imperial Ming City, an epic place surrounded by some seriously massive, majestic hills. A rickety tourist bus is cruising along a sketchy mountain trail. The overly hyped tour guide grabs the mic. All right, my beautiful passengers. Our destination is the Fairy Forest Camp, deep inside Oxhead Mountain. The scenery? Absolutely gorgeous, I promise. It's super isolated and ranks as an elite scenic spot in Dongning. You'll totally get to experience the warm, rustic vibes and awesome local customs of the folks living there. You get to taste some incredibly unique, traditional local dishes. Take in the absolute epic and majestic views of Oxhead Mountain. Plus, you'll even get the awesome chance to buy some deeply mysterious, beautifully crafted traditional souvenirs straight from the camp. A super grumpy lady in a red shirt immediately scoffs hard. Traditional crafts? You aren't going to force us to buy all that overpriced junk, are you? And in this totally remote mountain, where are we even sleeping tonight? I bet this place is absolutely crawling with gross bugs. The guide sweats. Ma'am, please, we're a famously legit travel agency. I swear, there is absolutely zero forced buying on this trip. Relax. Tonight we're staying in local homestays. The conditions are actually super nice, complete with actual AC and big TVs. Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng is chilling in the corner, staring out the window. He calculates his stash. 93 marrow pills crafted this week. That insane amount should definitely keep him fueled for a while. But man, this place is insanely remote. Perfect spot for a hidden silver mine. Nobody's found yet. Total Monopoly vibes. Suddenly, a bright yellow ball rolls over, completely snapping Lu Sheng out of his greedy little daydreams. A cute little girl with light brown hair runs over to grab it. She beams brightly at him. Mister, want to play with me? But right after, her pretty young mom quickly pulls her back, whispering softly, Stop messing around, sweetie. We really shouldn't be bothering the other passengers. Okay, I'll sit still. The mom then turns her head to Lu Sheng, giving him a super apologetic look. I'm so incredibly sorry about that. Lu Sheng just nods and smiles gently. Hey, it's totally fine. But suddenly, Lu Sheng's eyes widen in absolute pure shock. He spots a glasses-wearing dude sitting right next to the mother and daughter, casually chuckling, and his whole body is literally wrapped in this wild purple aura. Lu Sheng smirks, highly amused, as his own blue psychic power flares up. Well, how incredibly interesting, he thinks. Turns out, he's definitely not the only telekinetic esper on this little trip. Meanwhile, on this sweaty Oxhead mountain bus, Jung Dandan is aggressively fanning herself, desperately trying to create some breeze and cool off. This is so boring, she groans out loud, and it's literally insanely hot. Like, what karmic sin did I even commit to get dragged to this cursed place with you? We have 3 days and 2 nights left. How am I supposed to survive this torture? Sitting next to her drama queen friend, Lin Shishan is the total opposite. Despite the miserable heat, she is just chilling, super calm and collected. Flipping open a fan, she calmly replies, Dandan, it's not like I forced you at gunpoint to come along. You literally volunteered. Hearing those sassy words, Dandan gets totally triggered, violently snatches Sishan's little fan right out of her hands, and yells, Oh, please! I'm only out here because you just went through a horrible breakup, okay? I was genuinely terrified you'd do something crazy alone in this creepy deep forest. Seriously, no good deed goes unpunished. Seeing her bestie getting so unbelievably riled up, Shishan immediately waves her hands to pacify the situation. Okay, I know you're my absolute best friend. Relax, I'm really not that emotionally fragile anyway. It's just been ages since I actually traveled, so I took the chance to just unwind. Yeah, this tour group is kinda trash. But you gotta admit, the Oxhead Mountain views are stunning. You definitely won't regret this trip, I promise. Dandan is still totally unimpressed, just rolling her eyes and giving the most sarcastic, half-hearted reply. Yeah, sure, zero regrets. Suddenly, a kid's happy giggling echoes behind our two girls. Stick with me, because things are definitely about to get wild from here. Alright guys, picture this. This adorable little girl is having the absolute time of her life, smacks a ball and yells, Catch this! And right across from her, our main guy, Lu Sheng. He easily catches the ball with both hands and immediately praises her awesome throw. Then he flashes this absolute knockout of a charming smile. Jung Dandan turns around, sees this whole wholesome scene, and is instantly mesmerized. Her eyes are literally sparkling looking at him. Meanwhile, Lin Shishan sits right next to her, looking completely confused about what is happening. Suddenly, the ball bounces completely off target, making the little girl panic and scream out. Ah! The ball flies straight toward Jung Dandan. She panics, frantically reaching out to grab it. Totally surprised and stressed, she yells, I got it for you! Then she looks right at Lu Sheng and says, Catch! Lu Sheng catches it effortlessly with just one hand. Holding the ball, he looks back at Jung Dandan and gives her this super genuine warm smile. Thanks! And bam, Jung Dandan is instantly captivated by his insane good looks. Hearing him actually talk to her, her face immediately turns tomato red. She gets super shy and awkwardly mutters back, Oh, you are welcome. Lin Shishan watches her friend acting totally flustered from a distance and immediately starts teasing her. Haha, look at you acting all obsessed. Anyway, after 2 extremely long hours on that bus, everyone finally arrives at the famous Oxhead Mountain. Jung Dandan looks around at the trees and completely dismisses the view. She complains, Wait, is this not just a totally average, boring mountain? Is this really supposed to be a top-tier scenic spot? Completely ignoring her complaining friend, Lin Shishan checks the map and casually says, Actually, it looks pretty good to me. I heard there is even a big waterfall up there. We will find out tomorrow when climbing. Jung Dandan hates it, but honestly, if it makes her best friend Lin Shishan happy, then she is happy too. While she is busy checking out the area, she suddenly spots Lu Sheng again, and her whole face instantly lights up. She excitedly whispers, He is right over there! Meanwhile, Lu Sheng just gets off the bus when that same little girl runs up, grabs his hand, and happily asks, Can you please play with me again tomorrow? Lu Sheng sees the kid, squats down to gently pat her head, and smiles. Sure, if I have time tomorrow, we can play. Hearing that, the little girl is absolutely thrilled. She laughs loudly and cheers, Hey, that is so awesome! Jung Dandan sees them getting along so well and totally uses this chance to shoot her shot. She walks up and says, Hey, little sister, can we both play with you tomorrow? Right behind Jung Dandan is Lin Shishan, carrying all their heavy bags, looking at her thirsty best friend with absolute disgust. But get this, the kid hates the idea. She instantly steps up, hugs Lu Sheng's arm tight, pulls down her eyelid, and sticks out her tongue to reject her. Total savage. No way, you are a huge meanie who stole my ball. I am not playing with you. I only need him. Hearing that, everyone's jaws just dropped in pure shock. Suddenly, a voice called out, Nam Nam, hurry up, we have to go to the camp. Nam Nam looked at her mom but kept clinging to Lu Sheng's arm. Finally, she took her mom's hand to leave, waving a sweet goodbye to the guy. At the same time, Jung Dandan was forcing a fake smile, but inside, oh, she was absolutely fuming about it. Like, I even want to play with you, brat. Seeing her friend act like this, Lin Zishan covered her mouth, giggling nonstop. Seeing her get so annoyed, Lu Sheng finally spoke up. Kids say silly things, just ignore it. Hearing this handsome guy actually talk to her, all of Jung Dandan's anger instantly evaporated. Haha, why would I get mad at a kid? Then she shyly held up her phone. Hey handsome, do you want to add each other as friends? Lu Sheng was a bit caught off guard by that. He thought for a second, then gave a light, agreeing smile. Sure. A tiny ding rang out, followed by the classic friend request accepted notification. Just like that, all three of them traded their contact info right into their phones. Let's pause here, guys. Looking at her screen, she just had to praise him. Lu Sheng. Wow, that name sounds seriously badass. Even while totally fangirling, she remembered her main mission cheering up her best friend, Lin Zishan. Jung Dandan quickly pulled her friend away, smiling happily at Lu Sheng. All right, handsome. We will definitely see you around next time. Staring at her phone screen, she was grinning so hard her face hurt. You didn't even need to add that hot guy yourself. Hey, I totally thought this camping trip was going to be a snooze fest, but it just got incredibly interesting. Seeing her friend this happy made Lin Zishan smile too. But behind them, Lu Sheng watched them walk away, and his friendly fake smile instantly vanished. His whole expression turned terrifying. He thought back to that crazy bus incident. How interesting. This trip didn't just have a super rare level 2 spiritual master. It also had 2 level 2 martial artists. Now you and I know he means Nam Nam's dad, but that master still hasn't figured out his true identity, only sensing his basic martial arts. Lu Sheng stared quietly at the wild power surging around his body. All right, you and I are back. Lu Sheng realizes after forming his Grandmaster will, he can finally control and compress his mental energy like an absolute boss. As long as he keeps it hidden, normal people won't even sense his insanely overpowered mental strength. He just wonders if there's any martial artist actually stronger than him on this mountain. Thinking back to all those random passengers sharing that bus ride earlier today, Lu Sheng straight up decides he does not care why anyone else came to Oxhead Mountain, but if they get in his way, game over. Right on cue, Lu Sheng spots this weird mutant beast blocking his path. He doesn't even hesitate for a second. Might as well crush this ugly thing like a bug. Meanwhile, hundreds of kilometers away on the highway, we have this insanely flashy white luxury car totally speeding down the road like a total maniac. So dramatic. Inside this ride, a guy named Wu Jijing is casually holding a wine glass, staring down at a dude literally kneeling at his feet. To his right, a woman in a red cheongsam sits completely terrified and frozen. Wu Jijing swirls his wine like a total movie villain and asks, "So what is the deal? Did you finally track down Tang Maolin or what?" The scared guy on his knees instantly jerks his head up and nervously replies, "Yes, we found him. He is at Oxhead Mountain in Chuming City. He dragged his wife and kid there to hide." Hearing this, Wu Jijing glances out the window, twisting his face into a sneer. Oh, Tang Maolin actually has half a brain, doesn't he? Who knew? If he seriously stays hiding deep in the woods, I genuinely have no way to drag his cowardly self out. The kneeling guy hears this and instantly jumps in to talk. Do not worry, boss. We already sent our guys to stalk their every move. Even if Tang Maolin wants to play wild man, I promise we will easily find the exact rat hole he is hiding in. Wu Jijing bursts out laughing at that. Haha, perfect. You guys just stick to watching him like hawks. 2 level 4 martial artists like you guys are definitely not his match anyway. Once we roll up to Oxhead Mountain, I will personally handle this trash. The guy on the floor instantly gets the villainous vibe and agrees. Yes, sir. Now, during this whole unhinged villain speech, the only girl in the car has not moved a single inch or made a peep. It is seriously so freaking weird. Thinking about finally catching Tang Maolin gets Wu Jijing super hyped. He tilts his head back and chugs his glass, not even caring that wine is spilling everywhere. Tang Maolin, do not blame me for being ruthless. You crossed me first. If I do not end you, everyone else will think I am some easy pushover. Downing the rest of his glass, Wu Jijing's face quickly contorts into this absolute psycho nightmare expression. He thinks, if I let him live, random losers will just start messing with me. Then, he literally just shoves his empty glass toward that totally silent girl sitting there. You and I are about to see something totally messed up. The girl finally moves, looking straight up. Then, this purple liquid, exactly like his wine, literally pours out of her eye sockets and mouth. It keeps pouring out faster and faster, perfectly filling up the empty glass in his hand. After taking a little sip, he actually reviews it. Absorbing the innocent love and that unique 28-year-old youthful energy, it turns out completely intoxicating and sweet. What a total sicko. That freaky purple liquid just keeps leaking out, turning this girl's beautiful face into something straight out of a horror movie. Staring at a photo in his hand, he smirks. Tang Maolin even brought his little daughter. The picture shows a happy family of 3, completely unaware, just living their absolute best life together. Nobody normal would want to ruin that. But Wu Jijing? Oh, he is absolutely thrilled by it. Haha, looks like I got myself another fun little toy. Meanwhile, little Nam Nam gets led into a room by her parents, walking around looking completely amazed at literally everything. Her mom sees her jumping happily all over the place and softly says, "Slow down, sweetie, be careful not to fall." But Nam Nam's dad, Tang Maolin, is pacing around looking paranoid and super alert. He quickly activates his powers, sending his energy wrapping around the entire room and then expanding through the whole building. After his intense security check, he tells his wife, "This room is totally clean. No traps here." His wife just sighs. "You are seriously being too careful. Even if that creep Wu Jijing is powerful, he cannot possibly reach his grubby hands all the way to Oxhead Mountain, right?" Tang Maolin frowns, looking super worried. "Better safe than sorry. I brought you and Nam Nam here, so being extra paranoid is totally fine. Do not forget, we are literally running for our lives." Wu Jijing is a famous level 3 spiritual master. The guy is super petty, holds massive grudges, and honestly, everyone who crosses him ends up totally dead and buried. Tang Malin wraps an arm around his wife, just hoping we can actually dodge his psycho radar this time. "Your dad has been hiding for over a year and a half, so he should be perfectly fine now. If he somehow actually tracks us here, your dad and I, 2 level 2s, will just team up. We might even stand a real chance against him in a fight." Hearing this, his wife still looks extremely stressed out. "Let's hope so. It has been forever since I saw my dad. I wonder how he is doing. His martial arts level is not weak, plus he is a peak spiritual master." Tang Malin hugs her tight, comforting her. "Honestly, he is probably level 3 by now. With a body that strong, he definitely won't get sick. Relax. I am absolutely not letting those thugs put a single scratch on either of you." "Alright guys, check this out." He pulls his wife into a hug, getting all lovey-dovey, while little Nam stares out the window, completely confused. Meanwhile, our boy Lu Sheng is using the exact same psychic trick as Tang Maolin to scope out the area. You and I are watching absolute madness. His power crushes Tang Maolin's, blanketing the city. He sees everything, from random people walking the streets to some creep with binoculars hiding in the forest. Lu Sheng sees it all. He figures, hey, besides that one sneaky spy, everything looks totally normal. And since the guy isn't bothering him, yeah, just ignore him. Lu Sheng casually reaches right into his pocket and pulls out a little bottle. He pops a medicinal pill into his mouth. With these awesome pills helping him out, his immortal golden body training is speeding up like crazy. It is seriously overpowered. At this insane training rate, he'll finish the first stage of the immortal golden body in under 2 months. Boom, level 4 martial artist. Suddenly, his phone goes ding ding. Oh look, the happy family group chat just hit him with 2 new messages. "Stay warm, be careful, and please don't eat too much cold food, buddy." Then, another voice message drops in. Reading those sweet messages, Lu Sheng smiles to himself. Come on, he is not exactly a little kid anymore. Ding! A text from his sister Lu Qinghe pops up. She is complaining he ran off, and mentions Senior Ni Yan is back at school asking about him. She teasingly demands to know the truth. Are those 2 secretly dating or what? She even sends a funny sticker of an apple holding a gun. Teased, Lu Sheng types furiously. "Focus on your own martial arts training and mind your business. And remember to drink the tonics I left. If your blood stats do not hit 1.3 before I return, you are getting a serious scolding." He hits send with a fierce pointing cat sticker. Lu Sheng tosses his phone aside and lies back on his bed. Time to test out his hard training from the past few days. He closes his eyes and drops straight into the dreamscape. Not bad, right? After 10 days, he mastered a Grandmaster skill. Brainless zombies rush in, but Lu Sheng easily slaughters them all, forming his very first Grandmaster will. Right now, this guy is basically unstoppable. Nobody can stand in his way. Boom, Lu Sheng drops a fatal punch that explodes like a massive bomb. The charred zombie goes flying. But wait, suddenly, razor-sharp ice spikes shoot across the ground. Lu Sheng stops dead in his tracks. Something is hiding over there. That aura is insanely powerful. A pair of legs steps into view. It is someone with curly hair, rocking an iron mask and wing ornaments. She swings her spear, and everything freezes in brilliant blue ice. The scene looks absolutely terrifying and totally awesome. The freezing ice rushes at Lu Sheng, and he instantly realizes this is a Grandmaster-level zombie. Floating ice blocks everything. Suddenly, his vision completely blacks out. The zombie vanishes. He triggers his spiritual senses, and his brain is screaming danger from every single direction. Lu Sheng panics. What exactly is the threat of this massive avalanche? Suddenly, the female Grandmaster zombie launches a brutal attack from right above him. She dives at Lu Sheng. Unbelievable power swirls right around her deadly spear. Here is where you and I realize the truth. This is a real Grandmaster skill. Lu Sheng is literally sliced entirely in half. Her terrifying power crashes down with absolute destruction. Lu Sheng suddenly snaps awake in the real world, sweating intensely and looking totally freaked out. So painful. Clutching his chest, his face twists in agony. It honestly feels like his body was ripped entirely in half. Is this exactly what dying in a dream feels like? He leaps up, gripping his chest where he got slashed. Dripping with sweat and gasping for air, he calms down. Thank goodness that was just a crazy dream. Sitting up, he lets out a massive sigh of relief. If that was real, our guy's life would have ended right then and there. Grabbing his head in terror, he flashes back to getting obliterated like a total noob. He used all his mental power to block, but it was absolutely useless. That chick's power is on a completely different level than anything he has ever faced before. And here he was, actually thinking his little dreamscape explorations were going so smoothly. Even in the high-level zones, he always managed to outsmart those dumb, high-tier monsters with just his quick wits and reflexes. Lu Sheng sits to meditate. Turns out, this dream world is not the safe little playground he thought it was. In these apocalyptic ruins of a dead civilization, only blood and fire can forge a true, unstoppable savior. Lu Sheng nervously thinks about that scary Grandmaster chick. Seriously, her strength is just completely absurd. Her combat instincts totally eclipse Chengning. She has to be an ultra-powerful Grandmaster. Heck, maybe even a legendary level 8 Great Grandmaster. Just thinking about it makes our boy sweat bullets. Looking at his hands, he is absolutely terrified. But honestly, he is pretty hyped too. That glowing ice river must be that Valkyrie's Grandmaster will. If he could somehow steal that power for himself, man, the possibilities are wild. If he had reacted instantly and fought her at his absolute maximum power, using his top-tier fist techniques, maybe he could survive longer. You know what? Let's watch him go round 2. Lu Sheng straightens his back and begins meditating. Luke Thon tries entering the dreamscape, but boom, a massive headache hits. He grabs his head, totally shocked. Wait, I can't get into the dream space right now? He thinks. Is it because I actually died in there and now I have to wait out some annoying respawn cooldown timer? Looks like there will be absolutely zero dream space training for him tonight. As he rubs his temples to fight the headache, his phone suddenly buzzes. And let me tell you, when Luke Thon checks the screen, it is a barrage of messages from Trin Dan Dan. The texts are practically dripping with flirtation. Hey, cute guy, are you back in your room? Are you packing up your stuff? Want to head out together tomorrow morning? I am an official martial artist, you know. I can totally protect you. She even sends a meme of a cool dog wearing sunglasses just to look extra reliable. Hey, cutie, it is dinner time. Do you want to eat together? Boo-hoo, why are you not replying to me right now? Are you ignoring your phone? She texts, backing it up with a sticker of a puppy flashing massive, sparkly, teary eyes. Luke Thon stares down at this avalanche of painfully cheesy texts and looks totally annoyed. He honestly regrets ever adding this girl to his contacts in the first place. But when his stomach violently growls, he shoves that regret aside. Whatever. Time to grab some food. Down at the dining hall of the inn made specifically for traveling tourists. The moment Luke Thon walks in, someone yells his name. Big surprise, it is Trin Dan Dan waving enthusiastically from her table. Hey, over here, come over here. Right nearby, little Nom Nom and Duong Mao Lam call out, Big brother! Luke Thon just cracks a smile and waves right back at the kid. Duong Mao Lam gives a polite, formal nod. Luke Thon does not think much of it and casually walks straight past Trin Dan Dan to a completely empty table. His butt barely touches the chair before Trin Dan. Dan practically sprints over. She bluntly asks, Hey, why did you not come sit over with us? Eating with more people is way more fun, right? Lam Tusan watches her friend, looking 3 parts completely helpless and 7 parts extremely judgmental. Luke Thon gives a painfully awkward laugh. Have you two not eaten yet? Hearing him ask, Trin Dan happily shoots back. Nope, not yet. But at that exact same second, Lam Tusan loudly announces that they already ate. Wow. These two best friends are just so incredibly in sync, huh? Trin Dan shoots her friend a furious death glare, but instantly flips back to flashing Luke Thon a sweet, innocent smile. I just had no appetite earlier and barely ate a thing, but now I am starving, so it is the perfect time to eat with you. Lam Tu-san immediately starts teasing her. Honestly, I am completely full just watching this play out. What this girl really means is that our guy Luke Thon looks like such a delicious snack, she does not even need real food. Hilarious. Meanwhile, over at the family table, Nom Nom really wants to eat with Luke Thon. She hits her dad with the ultimate puppy eyes. Daddy, can I please go sit and eat with that big brother over there? Seeing this adorable request, her mother grabs a napkin, gently wipes the little girl's mouth, and tries to softly coax her. Nom Nom, is eating right here not exactly the same thing? Hearing her mom say that, Nom Nom immediately pulls out her best pouty face. But I really want to eat dinner with him. Hearing this, Duong Mao Lam flashes a gentle dad smile. Haha, alright, go ahead. Just make absolutely sure you do not cause any trouble for the nice guy, okay? Hearing her dad's permission, Nom Nom instantly bolts upright, her eyes shining like literal stars. Thank you so much. In total contrast to Duong Mao Lam, the mother looks super stressed as she watches Nam Nam grab her little food bowl and happily march straight over to Luke Than's table. She scolds her husband. Why let our kids sit with a total stranger? Especially with the dangerous situation we are currently in. Duong Mao Lam casually sips his soup. You and I know he is hiding something. He reassures his wife, telling her she is simply overreacting and being way too paranoid. He confidently continues, I already used my mental energy to run a full sweep of this entire area. They are literally all just normal tourists. There is zero threat to us here. As Nam Nam reaches Luke Than's table and he warmly greets her, Duong Mao Lam praises him. That young man actually has a pretty solid personality. His eyes are totally pure. He is definitely not a bad guy. The dad also carefully studies Luke Than's pale face, his slightly wobbly walking stance, and his wildly unstable energy aura. He figures even if the kid is a martial artist, his power is completely average. Nam Nam even playfully sticks out her tongue to tease Trin Dan Dan, making her furious but completely helpless. Nam Nam's dad also points out, plus, those two girls over there are just college students. Hitting level 2 martial artist at that age means their natural talent really is not bad at all. Duong Mao Lam calmly wipes his mouth and states with absolute confidence, within my observation range, I can crush anyone with a single thought. There will be 0 unexpected accidents today. Hearing that massive flex, his wife breathes a huge sigh of relief. Yeah, I guess I was just being way too anxious over nothing. Meanwhile, over at Luke Than's table, a waitress hauls out a massive feast, dropping a giant tower of steamed buns right down. All of your requested food is finally here. Please, enjoy your ridiculous meal. Both Nam Nam and Trin Dan Dan literally drop their jaws, staring at the absolute mountain of food Luke Than ordered. Completely shocked, they ask, Big brother, are you really eating all of this? Luke Than just casually replies, Yeah, I have been eating quite a bit lately. He then smoothly reaches over and hands Nam Nam 2 cute little pig-shaped buns. Seeing them, Nam Nam cheers with pure excitement. Wow, these are just too cute. Luke Than chuckles, looking over at her. All right, little sister, let's see which one of us finishes our food first, okay? Nam Nam puts on a fiercely determined game face. Okay, the eating battle begins. Nam Nam barely takes one tiny bite of her bun, only to turn and see Luke Than shovel an entire massive tray straight into his mouth. The kid is completely paralyzed. Lam Tu-san watches Luke Than inhale his food like a vacuum. She wearily thinks to herself, only folks from a completely normal family background, and who have not even become official martial artists yet would ever need to eat this ridiculously much, right? Because as you and I know, rich ranked fighters just use fancy supplements to recover their daily training energy. Even those without massive wealth would at least choose some high-quality monster meat to replace cheap carbs. All right, watch this. Take Lin and Dandan, here they only brought jerky. A level 1 martial artist survives on just a few bites a day. Eat that much, and you're spending half your day on the toilet. Lin watches them scarf it down, absolutely mortified. Meanwhile, Dun Dun is full-on swooning over Lu Sheng. Wow, he eats like an absolute beast, so incredibly gorgeous. Lin realizes things are getting way too weird. She leans right into Dandan's ear and whispers, Hey, Dandan, don't tell me you actually have a crush on this Lu Sheng guy? Dandan just blinks back with total innocence. Well, duh. Is my face right now not making it obvious enough? Right on cue. Little Nam Nam totally ruins the moment by dragging Lu Sheng out of his seat. Big brother, there's a buffet over there. Come with me. Lu Sheng totally spoils the little kid and actually follows her, leaving the two girls completely alone. Hearing her bestie's shameless confession, Lin is just absolutely mind-blown. She frantically tries talking some sense into Dandan. But wait, he's literally younger than us. Plus, he is literally just a high school kid. You saw his super unstable aura earlier, right? Honestly, I bet his martial arts potential and his family background are basically nothing special at all. You're a top student at Dongying Martial Arts University, an official level 2 martial artist. Dandan just shrugs it off like an absolute boss. It's only 3 or 4 years. Age means absolutely nothing. If you want a younger guy, youth is definitely the main prize. I'm telling you, it's destiny. You dragging me to Oxhead Mountain just to meet him? That is straight up heaven-sent fate. Lin refuses to give up and keeps lecturing her hopeless friend. Okay, but if you guys actually date, how are you even going to live together later on? Long-distance relationships? Trust me, no matter how deep the love is, it never survives that. An official martial artist's starting salary is only around 5,000 or 6,000 a month. So how do you pay for a house? Or a car? Seeing absolute zero reaction from her, Lin pushes even harder. Dandan, please listen. Romance isn't just some flashy temporary spark. It's about paying bills and surviving the harsh real world. As your martial arts strength gets stronger over time, the huge gap between you two will just keep growing. It'll all slowly build up until boom, everything violently explodes. Dandan listens to this whole dramatic rant and just calmly explains, Honestly, all those little issues you mentioned, Not a single problem. I'm a level 2 martial artist. I can totally mentor Lu Sheng on his martial arts journey. Even if he fails to get into Dongning University, I'll literally take a bus to visit him every single week. He has no car or house? Who cares? I do. Dandan clasps her hands together with the biggest, goofiest grin. And hey, taking 10,000 steps back here, even if my precious Lu Sheng turns out to be just an ordinary guy, then I'll happily just live as a totally normal person right by his side. If I get to live normally, I won't have to grind martial arts every single day. How amazing does that sound? Lately, all this intense training is making my calves look way too thick anyway. Dandan gazes dreamily at Lu Sheng joking around with Nom Nom, her cheeks flushing bright pink. Besides, whoever said Lu Sheng is ordinary? In my heart, he will forever remain absolutely, dazzlingly handsome. I firmly believe his true potential won't just stop here. Hearing her friend's insane delusions, Lin is utterly stunned and aggressively whispers right back into her ear. You have completely lost your mind, throwing away over 10 solid years of hardcore martial arts training, all for some random high school boy? Lin frantically points over at Lu Sheng, looking utterly baffled. I mean, just look at how wobbly his walking posture is right now. I seriously have absolutely no idea what goes on inside your head. Dandan looks back at Lin and dramatically sighs. Seriously? Don't you think you're stressing over my future a little too early? Nothing's even happened yet. Let me actually manage to date Lu Sheng first, then we'll talk. Plot twist. Thanks to his insanely high martial stats, Lu Sheng is standing way over there but hearing absolutely every single embarrassing word they say. Lu Sheng awkwardly scratches his head and cringes hard. Man, that is way too extra. Little Nam Nam looks up, super confused. Big brother, what does extra mean? Lu Sheng forces a painfully awkward smile. Oh, it's nothing. Just a fancy way of saying those girls over there are very pretty. Hearing this, Nom Nom's little gears start turning. The little kid instantly sprints straight over to Dandan and Lin, aggressively points right at them, and shouts, Big brother, both of these ladies are way too extra. Lu Sheng cringes so hard his soul leaves his body he desperately wants a hole to hide in. Meanwhile, the two girls just stare blankly, deeply confused by this random toddler's insult. Fast forward to the next morning. The tour group is boarding the bus, absolutely whining nonstop. Those beds were literal rocks. I barely slept. And the bugs. Another guy groans. I got chewed alive all night. Mark my words. I am never ever coming back to this absolute dump. Suddenly, a grumpy old man looks around, confused. Hey, wait a second. Where did that weird family of 3 go? The bus is literally about to leave without them. The poor tour guide starts panicking. Huh? Wait, you mean they aren't inside their room? Everyone, please help me look for them. Their phones are completely unreachable. Just then, the old man does a quick head count and points out, Hey, hold on. That one quiet teenage boy is missing too. The gossipy grandmas immediately start stressing out. How do 4 whole people just vanish into thin air overnight? This is super creepy. The panicked guide frantically dials her phone. Everyone, just sit tight and relax. I am calling the mountain rescue team right now. Overhearing the sudden panic, Dandan and Lin exchange some incredibly confused glances. Wait a minute, why are Lu Sheng and that weird family of 3 completely missing? Lin frowns, deep in thought. Honestly, I am not worried about that family that Dad gave off major dangerous vibes anyway. But our boy Lu Sheng vanishing into thin air? Now, that is seriously bizarre. Zheng Dandan looks totally stressed. I don't even care if those guys are normal. The guide is running around looking for people, so our whole trip is probably getting canceled anyway. Classic teen panic, right? And just like that, she throws her hand up, bolts straight into the creepy forest, and yells, I am going up the mountain to find Lu Sheng. Obviously, her bestie Lin Shishan is not about to just leave her hanging. Hey, slow down a sec. So they just ditch the gossiping crowd and march right into the wild woods. Wild move. Meanwhile, deep in the woods, a super cute squirrel is just munching a chestnut, minding its own business, when boom, someone blasts past like an absolute hurricane, scaring the living daylights out of it. Turns out that blur is Lu Sheng, speeding through the trees. He figures a good night of sleep really helped shake off the brutal pain of dying in his crazy dreamscape. Healing goals, honestly. Hitting a massive cliff face, our guy literally just hops right up to the top. Effortless. No time to waste here. He drops to one knee and sends out his mental radar. And bingo, after scanning the area, he finally spots the exact rare ore he came hunting for. Using pure brain power, he effortlessly yanks up a massive chunk of dirt, making all those shiny ores tumble right out. With a quick flick of his finger, he points at the pile. The huge chunks shatter, morphing into tiny, pebble-sized pieces that just magically float right there above his hand. Pretty slick trick. He stares at it. Is this really the legendary dense silver? Totally curious, he injects a burst of his mental energy straight into it. And wow, the rumors are completely true. The second his mental power hits it, this dense silver starts shifting and changing its shape like completely random liquid metal. Those little floating pebbles suddenly stretch out into one super long, shiny wire. He grabs the wire, swinging it around in circles like a lasso, guessing he is holding maybe 4 or 5 pounds of the stuff. If market prices match his cheat sheet, this handful is already worth over 2 billion. Huge flex, right? But hold on, this is just the raw, unrefined ore. To actually craft weapons for a mental power master, this stuff needs to go through dozens of hardcore smelting processes first. Boiling 4 or 5 pounds down to just 1 pound of pure silver is considered a total win. Plus, he still has to check if the purity of this batch is actually any good. Peering into the tiny crater, he lets out a dramatic sigh. Calling this a small mine is a massive compliment. Micro-sized is definitely more like it, he complains. He has already scooped up about 70% of it. If someone else tried, they would literally strip this place bare in under a week. He turns his attention to the ridiculously massive chunk of ore left behind. How the heck is he supposed to transport that? Hauling a giant rock like that around is just begging for unwanted attention. He planned to just chip off a tiny piece and bail, but once you start digging, you really cannot stop. Looks like he has to hire some local muscle to haul this loot. So, our boy casually dumps his precious silver back into the hole, shovels the dirt over it, and stomps it down flat to hide the evidence perfectly. Very stealthy. Then his brain starts ticking. He remembers there is a super tiny minority village just a few kilometers away from his current spot. He could totally score some help there. People living cut off from the modern world are usually super honest and chill, right? Offering them a fat stack of cash should easily get the job done. But wait, what if the sight of money actually makes them crazy greedy? His mind immediately goes to the darkest timeline. He hires the villagers, hands over the cash, and they instantly gang up to rob him blind. Classic anime betrayal scenario. A seriously villainous smirk creeps onto his face as he grips his silver. Well, I would just have to completely obliterate them, he thinks. Then smack! He totally facepalms, catching himself. Crap, why is my brain getting so incredibly dark and violent lately? Hello, we literally live in a society with actual laws, he scolds himself. Society of laws? Sure. Looking down from the cliff, he spots the little village right away. He clenches his fists, suddenly feeling a tiny bit nervous about this. He hypes himself up. Keep it polite. Absolutely no punching people, and win them over with pure charm and virtue. Yeah, virtue. Meanwhile, completely lost in another part of this massive forest, Lin Qishan and Zheng Dandan are still stubbornly hunting for Lu Sheng. Zheng Dandan is looking around like she is starring in a horror movie. It is way too creepy and deserted out here. Would he actually come this far? Swatting away a million bugs, Lin Qishan fires back. Hey, you are the one who wanted to play detective. Do not tell me you are chickening out already. But wait a second. Lin Qishan suddenly spots something totally out of place. She stops Dandan, pointing dead ahead. Take a look at that. What is that? Dandan squints in that direction and instantly spots a bright yellow plastic ball sitting in the dirt. Her jaw drops. No way, that is definitely that little girl's ball from the train. While Lin Qishan is distracted checking their surroundings, Dandan foolishly reaches out and grabs the bright yellow toy. Big mistake. Bam! A massive swarm of black spiders and sticky webs explodes out of nowhere, completely wrapping both girls up in seconds. What is happening? I literally cannot move. All right, let's check out the village. A young kid comes sprinting through, screaming his lungs out. Village chief, big sister is finally back. He aggressively busts the door open, shouting that her whole entire family has returned. Inside, an old dude is just chilling, carving some wood. Yep, that is the village chief. Before the old guy can even process what is going on, little Nam Nam comes rocketing towards him. Grandpa, I missed you so much, she yells. Oh, Nam Nam. He barely gets her name out before she tackles him into a massive hug, making him completely drop his wooden carving on the floor. She literally bumps her forehead from the impact, but just giggles and asks, Are you doing okay, Grandpa? He looks a little rough, but warmly pats her head anyway. Cough, cough, still going strong, kiddo. Right on cue, her parents finally step into the room. Nam Nam's mom looks super anxious as she greets her old man. Dad, we are finally back, she says softly. Tang Malin, looking guilty as heck, mutters, father-in-law. Seeing their super tense faces, the old chief just stares back in heavy, dramatic silence. Two guys step out from inside to say hi. Big sister, brother-in-law, what brings you guys back here today? The old man looks super grumpy but still answers. Coming back to visit this old man? What else could it possibly be? You two go hunt some beasts, catch the big ones. Tonight, we are throwing a massive feast to celebrate. The two guys instantly take off to follow his orders. Yes, sir. Seeing how hyped little Nam is, one of the dudes scoops her onto his shoulders and laughs. Hey Nam, let us go catch some wild beasts together. Nam cheers back with pure joy. Heck yeah, wild beasts. I want bird soup. The one I had last time was insanely delicious. I almost passed out. The old village chief lights up a smoke and sighs. All right, You guys would never visit unless you needed something. Spill it. What is going on this time? Hearing that, the wife throws a worried look at her husband, Mao Lin. Catching her drift, Mao Lin turns to his father-in-law, looking dead serious. Father-in-law, we. So, the three of them face each other and start talking. After hearing the whole crazy story, the old man literally chokes on his smoke. Cough, cough, level 3. You guys ticked off a level 3 psychic master? He blows up, screaming right at Tang Mao Lin. I knew it the second you showed up. You never bring anything good with you, you absolute troublemaker. Ever since the first time you crashed this village and took Minghua away, I totally predicted a disaster like this would happen. Seeing him rage, Minghua desperately jumps in to defend her husband. Dad, please help Mao Lin, do it for me. Tang Mao Lin sweats bullets and adds, Father-in-law, I remember you tried breaking into the level 3 psychic tier a long time ago. Did you finally succeed? But before he can finish, the old man just brutally cuts him off. I failed completely. Worse, I got internal injuries and my power dropped. If that level 3 monster actually tracks you here, the best I can do is buy you guys a tiny bit of time. Grab the kid and run, go find someone else to help. Hearing this horrible news, both of them are left completely stunned. Minghua covers her mouth, totally speechless, while Mao Lin shoots up from his chair. Help? Who the heck am I supposed to run to for help?